to what it might have a little bit higher. But at thehomeloanexpert.com, we will refinance your loan with no fees when rates come down. So again, you marry the house, you fall in love with the house, but you date the rate, knowing that you're probably going to refi it and get that rate down to keep that payment nice and low. These are the reasons why you need to be working with the expert. If you're even considering buying a home, don't wait. Don't let those higher rates scare you. Work with the experts. Got questions? Ready to get pre-approved? Apply online today at thehomeloanexpert.com.
This is Doug Biggs from the Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm, and I want to talk to you about what happens when you get in a car accident. Hopefully most of you never will be, but if you are, the first few days after an accident can be critical. Unfortunately, from the moment your case begins, the insurance company is going to be working against you trying to minimize their payout. You're probably going to get a call from an adjuster who seems nice, who seems worried about your well-being, but what they're actually trying to do is get a statement from you to use against you later. Insurance companies have specialized systems and thousands of workers who follow a playbook to pay you as little money as possible. At Longo Biggs Injury Law, we know the playbook and we can fight back. If you or a loved one is injured in an accident, visit our website or Google Longo Biggs Injury Law.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisement.
TMA wants to send you to Evolution Festival, a new elevated music festival experience coming to Forest Park August 26th and 27th, featuring the Black Keys and the Black Crows, plus Brandy Carlisle and Harper and the Innocent Criminals, Brittany Howard, Ice Cube, Morgan Wade, and more. This is our town. This is our time. This is our evolution. Tickets for this elevated bourbon and barbecue experience over 2 days in Forest Park are on sale now, but you can win your way in on the TMA app. If you don't have it, find out how to get it at TMASTL.com.
Men, are you suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE? The medical providers at Paramount Men's Medical Center offer breakthrough treatments that eliminate problems in the bedroom without pain or surgery. 98% of men see instant results on their first office visit. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Paramount Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Men are even lasting 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
But that's not all. For a limited time only, call Paramount Men's Medical Center now and your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. You'll see instant results right in the office. You'll even get a gift that enhances your performance in the bedroom. All this, worth hundreds of dollars, is free if you call now. 314-720-8210. 314-720-8210. That's 314-720-8210.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, The Plowboy, and Action Jackson.
7:07 in St. Louis, you are listening to the Ryan Kelly Morning After. Welcome, friends, to the Michelob Ultra Studios. It's the Munganess, St. Louis Acura and Alton Toyota, 7 o'clock hour. And Doug, you notice that I am not wearing a top, and I'm doing the show from my basement, like a naughty little boy slut.
Well, I did notice you weren't here, but I can't see one of the YouTube pictures yet, so I didn't
so you
realize
can't
you
see the piercing in my left nipple. My left nipple is pierced. I got it done yesterday after a TMA day at the ballpark. We got out of there in the 9th inning with 2 outs just to beat traffic, and fun to see the Cardinals finally win a game. That was a hell of a win, and maybe this will set the tone for this 11-game road trip that'll feature a fun little duel with our rivals overseas in London.
You didn't hear how it turned out, did you?
No, I was going over some tape from 2011, getting better at teasing.
Oh, well, okay, there he goes. Served up a gopher ball. It almost hit somebody out there in the TMA section from what it looked like.
I left in the 7th inning. I went up and just mingled with the listeners up above us.
That was big of you.
Yeah, well, they didn't sit by us, so I went up and said hi to some people. And then I left in like the end of the 7th. Mm-hmm. And I saw the highlight, TMA, I think S. Jackson put it up, the guy that caught the ball. Plowsy, that went right into our seats.
And literally the Edmund one as well was like 2 rows even?
2 rows right below me.
2 rows right below
there was a
Doug.
kid, a girl, about 10, 11 years old who had a glove and didn't get it, and she was just crestfallen.
She was.
And whoever got it should have given it to that girl, but...
It bounced back onto the field.
Oh, okay. Well, she could have caught it. I saw them. Yeah.
Well, they're
She was
accountable.
a child.
Yeah, I think the right fielder should have thrown it back up to her.
It didn't go all the way to the right field. It just kind of ricocheted off the seats and went just barely over the wall.
But anyway, I saw the replay, and Yastrzemski's ball hit in our seats and bounced to that guy at the wall, and he caught it. Rolling.
Both home runs that were hit to right field. As I stood up, I thought, "Holy crap! These are going to land right where we are." And as you said, Iggy, the one from Edmond was a few rows in front, and then it. Doug, would you call that a carom? Did it carom?
It hit the cement and then a chair, and then it went back onto the field.
There you go. And the one that covered the over for Jackson, Mike Yastrzemski's, was Iggy. You and the boys, I think, were you in the same row as me, or were you the row right behind? Either way, right there.
Yeah, we were in one in front of you.
No, you guys were in the same row.
We were in the second. Yeah, we were in the second to last row.
Yeah, that's where we were as well.
Yeah, and the ball hit in our seats, so it should have hit. If you would have been there too, it would have hit like 5 seats from you.
Oh, I was there.
Oh, you were for the Yastrzemski home run? Okay.
Yeah. The whole thing about going home to get better at teasing was just to kiss up to management. Honestly, I don't know if I can get better at teasing, but no, it did then bounce, and then there were a couple that had been. What guy was wearing a TMA hat with his wife, and we had been exchanging pleasantries, and then there was a gentleman, and I posted this on Instagram and on the TMA fan page on Facebook, who got the ball. It bounced off of his hand originally, then it sat right in front of the couple, and he was able to grab it, and he had the prize souvenir that sent that game into extra innings, where the Cardinals lost by a final score of 8-5. And by the way, Doug, I think I was saying this maybe to Anna Marie, my wife, who was there. I said, I think Doug's prediction today was a 5-3 Cardinal win, and we were one out away from that. Am I correct on that?
That's correct, yeah. And on my fantasy team, I had Gallegos as my closer. Then he blew that! And I didn't get the save, and we didn't get the W. And what do we have now? Just a whole bunch of losses stacked up on top of one another.
But feeling good about it.
I'm not feeling that good.
Well, we're not the worst team in Missouri, at least.
At least the Brewers have lost like 6 in a row.
It's quite a division.
Oh, God.
Guys, did any of the listeners hook up with anyone on the dais? Thanks. That's from Eric in the Central West End. Doug, you hooked up with 3 people yesterday. Am I correct on that?
3 or I lost count after about the 4th inning. Yeah.
I think Plowsy was trying to hook up with Judah's girlfriend. Judah, who people don't know, was the guy who did all the...
Who's Judah?
Judah did all of the photography and videos for Jaws Marketing, who brought us down to Jamaica. And he did all the filming, and he came
was there yesterday?
Yeah, he came up to St. Louis to, I guess, see the WL people. He went to the game, and he saw us, and Plowsy I think he was hitting on his girlfriend as they were leaving. He just was going gaga over her.
Plowsy was hitting on his
Madison
girlfriend?
was there as well, but I didn't know who it was, and I never met her, so I wanted
immediately.
I wanted to make sure that I introduced I didn't know who it was.
You
I didn't
wanted
know
to
who
feel
was part of the
comfortable.
executive staff. I wanted to make sure that I gave, a nice pleasantry, Hey, I'm Darren. I'm part of TMA. She didn't know what that was.
No.
And that's when I knew.
I'm surprised by that.
I am too.
Yeah, the Q rating for this show across the country is...
It's embarrassing for her.
Yeah, I don't know what you said. Something like, nice to meet you. You're something else or something like that.
I think I said...
Well, look, were you spitting game like Nelly?
No, I thought I said oh, man, you're out of Judah's league or something, even though I've only met Judah one time in my life, in Jamaica. But I felt comfortable making a joke like that.
She was attractive.
Yeah, she was super nice, too. And I didn't really notice that they were behind us for a very long time until Iggy actually mentioned it.
I thought when you were interested in the gal, you were supposed to drop negs on her.
What does that
Doug.
mean?
Isn't that what Timberfake... You're supposed to drop negative comments.
Oh, yeah.
Timberfake gave us a speech on that once.
You pretend like you're not interested because then if she's got just a little bit of insecurity, and really the way to know that is check the Instagram account, then she will wonder, oh, Why isn't he interested? And because you have dropped negs, as you call it, Doug, or just not paid the attention to her that she's used to getting, then she will now be interested subconsciously in getting your attention. That is the game.
I never heard of that.
Yeah.
No,
And I don't think
it's essentially psychological sexual warplay.
Well, I think it could be something to that. Back in my days when I was, really,
and we're underway.
when I was really slaying.
Swaying, did you say?
Yeah, I didn't.
You don't have the answer, Sway.
I wouldn't exactly say I treated him like dirt, but I was one that just didn't want a relationship. I'd have sex with them, and then I'd just go to something else.
Cast them aside.
But they always wanted to come back after that.
Sure they did. After the night with you, of course they did.
Yeah, so you're basically throwing negs at them like, all right, well, no, I'm busy tonight. I got something to do. And you just kind of ignore them. And one wouldn't have sex with me, and I told her at a party, I said, look, tomorrow night is Jimmy's party. We either do it tomorrow night or it's over.
Oh, really?
Almighty, Doug. It sounds like a prom ultimatum.
And
You were a playboy at absolutely the top of your game.
We went to the party, and I, sitting on the couch, I said, so are we doing this? She goes, I'm a virgin, I don't want to listen. Well, sorry. And then she started crying, and then I found somebody else and went upstairs.
You showed her.
So I guess that's throwing eggs.
No, that's just being a jerk. That's what that is.
Well, what's the difference?
Yeah, I mean, the lines are blurred.
Throwing negs could make you a jerk, but this was a jerk of a different magnitude, where you were pressuring a girl into sex she was uncomfortable with.
Well, we'd been going out for at least 5 times, so it's enough.
Well, nonetheless, it's up to her.
Well, anyway, that's just, I was kind of a dick.
But we got down to it.
But that's how you get them. That's how you start piling up the numbers. Is you give them a certain period of time, and if you haven't, well, I got to go to something else. I mean, it's been 5 days, so.
5 days. And you could have just about any gal you wanted back then, couldn't you?
Well, pretty much that night. It didn't take me long to get somebody else in Jimmy's parents' bedroom.
Who'd you get?
I don't remember.
Well, no. What would his parents have
I like it when you call me Big Papa. I don't know. Maybe they're out of town. So, yeah, I don't, but I wouldn't
Did you drug any of these women?
No, I wouldn't take Timberfake advice on anything, though, but.
I don't know, I've seen him with
that's a take.
I've seen him with some beautiful girls.
Well, yeah.
Tony Doe.
Tony Doe.
Is that the guy from Leave It to Beaver?
That's correct.
Tony Dow.
The girl that Timberfake was with, who appeared on the show, mispronounced his last name as Tony Doe. I can't remember what her name was, Doug. Do you remember her name?
I don't.
Was she the one who mispronounced the word pole? Like she was like
yes.
a Powell or something?
Doe and pole. That is correct, Jackson. That's a nice play because you were probably a freshman in high school when that happened.
I was certainly in high school.
Didn't she make out with the Hot Shots waitress, too?
I thought that was Larry Nickel Robin feeding.
No, I thought she made out with the
I'm not a gentleman. I'm a whore.
Yeah, see, there it is.
I thought she made out with the Hot Shots waitress.
I don't know.
I feel like I would remember that.
I just don't know.
Well, somebody will let us know.
Okay.
And maybe Swope has the video. Text in, as many are already doing. EDF Group text inbox 314-881 TMA5. Engineer Design Facilities is now the EDF Group, the most experienced data center and critical facility service provider in the St. Louis market. Check out the newly revamped website, theedfgroup.com, and take a look at each of the 3 divisions they have to offer. EDF Group is your one throat to choke for all your critical facilities, data center, commercial fire alarm, and electrical and IT infrastructure needs. To contact the EDF Group, email fire@theedfgroup.com and experience the EDF Group difference and learn more at theedfgroup.com. And, of course, you can email in for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, the morning after, at InsideSTL.com. Design Air Heating and Cooling, Seth Goldcamp. His great-grandfather started the business. His grandfather carried it on. His father carried it on, and now he is as well. And that is why he prides himself on no upselling for any clients, because he takes the reputation that his great-grandfather, his grandfather, and his father carried on, and he carries on very seriously. And he wants customers to know they can trust Design Air not to be disingenuous when they come out to take care of their heating and cooling system. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling. DesignAirService.com. If you run into an air conditioning issue, Design Air is going to fix it, just like they have done for me and for Doug for a number of years. The official HVAC provider of TMA and the Tim McKernan Show podcast. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling. And Doug, let's take a look at the Strodecast, which is presented to you by Paramount Men's Medical Center.
Okay.
Paramount Men's Medical Center to eliminate problems in the bedroom. Call. I mean, this is free, so there's no reason not to do it. You get free initial consultation and free first treatment from Paramount Medical Center. And it's obviously confidential. 314-720-8210. 314-720-8210. It's free. And you get free first treatment, too. Why wouldn't you call?
I don't know.
314-720-8210. Iggy, we are approaching the weekend. I'll be on the show for about an hour or two here, Doug, and then it's balls in the air around 10 o'clock.
Oh.
And I have 3 matches tomorrow. Are you going to be out covering any of these, or how are you handling this?
No, I won't. I won't be there. We're not handling it at all. It's not a newsworthy event.
Wow. Well,
No.
Rich Gould disagrees. He will be there along with Steve Gottsagen.
What? The brow.
Tell Bo House I said hi today.
Tell Bo
You know
House.
what? I might see Bo House.
What course is this?
This is Westboro.
It's too
where
far.
We have,
It's too far.
It is at I-44 in Barrie. We have member guest. Iggy was my partner the last 2 years. Candidly, he not joining me this year has caused a real rift in our relationship.
Oh.
And it's been unfortunate. We're seeing therapists on.
No, I'm happy that you don't have me this year. You may have a chance to win.
It wasn't your fault last year. It was my fault. It was my Doug. It was my fault. It was my fault.
I'm just afraid if you got Iggy there on the country club grounds, close to the pool, with all the wives and girlfriends there, it'd just be cuckold central. There wouldn't be a gal that'd be safe.
No. I commented the last 2 years. We went by the pool, and I just kind of looked in and said, wow, a couple times.
That would have been an early cuck situation.
Yeah. I'm just not sure you could have contained yourself, or they could have contained themselves.
More likely the latter.
Yeah.
Well, people were clamoring for me to get there to see my outfit for the day.
They were clamoring. And what outfit did you come up with?
Well, I look good as always.
I agree with that.
I've always said if you can't play, at least dress the part. So I dress nice.
What did you wear?
I don't remember, but it was matching.
Okay.
Probably blue slacks with a
Don't say slacks. Don't say slacks.
light blue polo and a white belt, and probably a blue hat,
Okay.
and then white pants.
I know that we went because we did, Iggy. I guess get to the finals of the par 3 shootout and won some decent money for that. I think.
Yeah, finished second.
Before Mark Milton's partner, I want to emphasize that Mark Milton's partner came through, and Iggy was clutch. You know, dug a lot of criticism of Iggy's nerves over the years, and it turns out it's a false narrative with, I don't know, 100 people or so watching. Iggy was just flushing whatever club it was you were hitting. You rolled in a key putt. This guy, to me, he has Brooks Koepka-like calm under pressure.
Huh.
And unfortunately, it didn't carry over into the tournament. So,
or to this year's
That was on me.
Yeah.
I played well the first day. The second day, I didn't play very well. Didn't drive the ball well, but anyway, it's a lot of fun. So your partner's going to have fun out there, and a lot of great members out there. It's always fun to see those guys.
How do you feel about not being invited back?
That's fine.
Oh.
It's Tim's tournament. He was kind enough to invite me for 2 days, 2 years.
I didn't want you to be
but I'll miss seeing Bo House and Stoles and those guys.
Well, let's put our golf where our mouths are.
Did you shout that out there?
Not to anybody, no.
Oh.
Kind of kept to myself.
One of the reasons I wanted to make sure I was on the presentation today is I honestly, and I guess I was texting with the Plowhawk, and when we were walking from Busch Stadium to Ballpark Village where we had some post-game libations, I'm dead serious. I really, truly, and I guess, Jackson, you were there to validate this, and I'm curious what you were thinking, Doug. And I guess KG Town, who is in the building, right?
Yeah.
Today he's in the building. So I'm doing the show from my house, just for the record, because I won't be on the show in its entirety. But I honestly, as I was walking from the ballpark back to Ballpark Village to have a couple of Michelob Ultras, what I was thinking was I am going to keep my phone out and in my hand because I assume, are you on the Brian Bartow? He's the Cardinals media relations guy on that text. He sends out all the notices.
Yes.
To people say, okay. Yeah. That I thought, I really did, and I would have bet people actually. I really thought, and I'm not saying he should have been per se. It's not about that. I'm happy to talk about that and attempt to litigate that this morning as well here on the program. But I honestly thought we were going to get a notification that Ali Marmol had been let go. I really thought, and my reasoning was not only losing 5 of 6 against 2 kind of middling National League teams, but also then they head out on this 11-game road trip. And even if it isn't Ali Marmol's fault, and I will still put roster construction at the top of the list as to why this team is where they are, that unless you're just writing off the rest of the season, you will see teams, and the St. Louis Blues right down the street 4 blocks in 2018 actually, with Mike Yeo and Craig Berube in November of 2018 before what happened in June of 2019 with the Stanley Cup. Joe Girardi with the Phillies last year in June, and then you saw what they wound up doing not only to the Cardinals but en route to the National League pennant, that teams will attempt to throw a Hail Mary by terminating the manager, even if when it gets down to it, it's not the manager's fault. I honestly thought, I really did, this isn't BS, I really thought he was going to get fired yesterday. I truly did. What did you think?
I wasn't thinking it would come yesterday. I'm not sure that it's going to happen.
And that is where I have arrived. If it didn't happen yesterday, I had another conversation. I've had 2 conversations with people I would consider to be in the know in the last 24, 48 hours. And they both are, I wouldn't even say of that opinion. They would bet me all day long that it's not going to happen during the regular season. Yeah. And the reasoning is, with one of the people telling me, the issue is it's not a clubhouse thing. It's not a case of one part of the team. You have offensive issues, you have pitching issues, yesterday on full parade, bullpen issues. But really, I think in Plowhawk, I know we were texting, but this is some information here that it not only came in a conversation that I had, but if you read Ben Frederickson's column this morning in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, and whether it surprises people or not, the team, the key guys on the team at the very least, are fully behind Ali Marmol. I mean, and as it turns out, big fans of Ali Marmol. And so I was told that yesterday because I was over at Ballpark Village and surprised when it didn't happen. Honestly surprised. I mean, I wasn't like, I'm on the floor, I can't believe they didn't fire him, but I would have thought they were going to fire him. And then having this conversation, and then in addition to that, you read the quotes in Ben Frederickson's column, big-time recommendation, by the way, for reading that, because you have not only Paul Goldschmidt, not only Nolan Arenado, but then Adam Wainwright saying this is absolutely not on the manager. And in the case of Paul Goldschmidt, as you can imagine, and I realize, you know, most people who are listening to this, and I guess probably most people who are on the dais have not interviewed Paul Goldschmidt. Paul Goldschmidt could not be more above any nonsense than he is. And not only is he above it, he is just completely removed from it and detached from it. So he was asked, I believe, this is exclusive conversations that Ben Frederickson, columnist for the Post-Dispatch, had with these 3 players, and I would say that everybody would agree, the 3 foremost leaders on the team, Goldschmidt, Arenado, and Wainwright. So I want to make sure, that's why I want to make sure I continue to attribute it to him. And he asked Goldschmidt about the possibility of Marmol losing his job and any conversations about it. And Goldschmidt said, well, who is going to have those conversations? There would be nothing in this clubhouse. Outside of that, there is no way I would know what people outside of the clubhouse are saying. But it's not going on inside. And then Goldschmidt went on to say his confidence in Marmol's leadership is, quote, as high as it's ever been. It's pretty simple. We have to play better. We haven't played good enough to win, and that's why we are losing games. You can't blame the coaching staff when we don't perform. We are the ones out there playing. We have not performed as good as we need to. We have not played better than the teams we are playing against. It has not been good enough, and they have beaten us. We are the ones out there playing, and we haven't done a good enough job. And then he goes and talks to Nolan Arenado. backs it up and says our coaches, they work their asses off. They are prepared. They make sure we're prepared. We just don't execute, and that's just what it comes down to. We don't execute. I can see why it's a topic because it's so easy to blame them. Easy to blame them. I can't think of a coaching staff that tries to get us more prepared. All of them. They work their butts off, and we just don't execute. I think it's the players. You can pinpoint the coaches all you want, but it's the players. It's us as a group. We don't execute. That's why you're seeing us fail and us play really bad baseball, because we don't execute. Everybody, including myself. I've been terrible with runners in scoring position. I've not been consistent on either side of the ball. It's the players. We don't execute at all. And then Adam Wainwright, finally. Unfortunately, we're not holding up our end of the bargain. He, as in Ali Marmol, is pushing us. He's challenging us. He's positive when he needs to be, but he's also telling us this is not acceptable. What more can a manager do? This is on the players. This is not on the coaches and the manager. So what that article, that column from Ben Fredrickson at stltoday.com, then it falls into a conversation I had yesterday, a conversation I had the night before, that they really are not of the opinion he is going to get let go. And I thought if it was going to happen, it would be right before a road trip. Matheny was let go the Saturday before the All-Star break. I just thought the timing would make sense, and you're just going, okay, we've just got to try something. But the opinion from these two people who, are not, they would be in the category of in the know, is that it will not happen this year. If it's going to happen, it would happen in the offseason, and then you have Goldschmidt, Arenado, and Wainwright going out of their way to defend Ali Marmol. So there is that information. Your thoughts?
Let me ask you guys something. Unless you lose the clubhouse, which players are bitching about, oh my God, he's in here doing this, you can't stand him anymore, we don't trust him. Unless you lose a clubhouse, isn't that pretty much what every club would say about their manager before they got fired, or if they were going to get fired? That they're behind him, it's our fault we're playing bad. Because that's usually the case, that you're playing bad, you're losing because your team isn't doing anything. Yeah. But you have to find somebody, you have to make a move if you're going to try to change things. And a lot of times it's the manager. But most players would say that on a bad team.
Here's my thought on that, because I think that's a great question. Ben actually addresses that in the column with his own words, not with the quotes from the three players I read from, Goldschmidt, Arenado, and Wainwright. This is the way, in my opinion, it usually works. And Doug, I think, having done it for as long as we've both done it, the way that it usually works, when you develop a rapport with certain players, you will find out more, at least in what their opinion is, because there's always two sides to a story. More often than not, I feel like now you get one side, especially if one side fits into whatever your predetermined narrative is, but that you will hear what the truth or what their real opinion is away from the microphone in a conversation. Because I would agree that on the record, you're not going to find a player lighting up a manager. I mean, hell, it did happen. It was kind of passive-aggressive, and it was more like the Tavon Austin subtweet plan. But Yadier Molina undercut Mike Matheny often on his Instagram, which to me was, not the most impressive conduct, but whatever. I know some people really liked it. But that's not the way I would want somebody I'm working with to handle business, on being passive-aggressive on social media, especially when he's, your unofficial captain. But I think Ben Fredrickson would be in the know. And again, like I said, I had this conversation yesterday, and this person goes, the players absolutely love him. And if anything, if they were to fire him, it would cause bigger problems. So, again, whether one agrees with it or not, what I'm doing here is passing this along, not just with my conversations, but also with what Ben Fredrickson is writing. So there's two different conversations, in my opinion. One is, should he be fired? And then the other is, will he be fired? And I can't speak to everybody's opinion on the former, because that is in the eye of the beholder. But as to whether or not it is likely to happen, my information, and then what you see in this article today, would lend itself to, no matter what, it's not going to happen. And that part surprises me.
Yeah, there's just a lot of things a manager can't help you with. I mean, did you fault him for his use in the bullpen yesterday? I don't think you could. Who else would you have wanted to have but Gallegos there in the ninth inning trying to close it down? Who else they got? Well, it wasn't his fault that Gallegos put one down the middle for Yastrzemski. I mean, it reflects on the manager that, you brought in, blew another save. But their bullpen has 15 saves and 15 blown saves. If you just fix that, if they had half that many blown saves, you'd be right near the top of the division. All he can do is put the best guys out there that he has, and that's kind of what he's done. But, on the flip side is, at some point, you've got to do something to shake him up, whether the players like him or not. At some point, I don't know how it could get any worse than this.
And that's what I go back to. I hate, if anything, I love the fact, and I know this gets into the NBA, and dog avatars immediately are triggered by any mention of the association. But just as a 10-second aside, I love the fact, couldn't certainly care any less for the fact that Stan Kroenke won another championship, but I like the fact that ownership group kept Mike Malone, the head coach of the Denver Nuggets, around when they could have let him go, because in my opinion, coaches and managers are let go way too often. I feel like it used to be in the NBA and NHL way more than Major League Baseball and the NFL, and now I feel like it's everywhere. It's in college football too, and college basketball. But I do think it takes time to have a person be able to instill their program. However, along with that conversation comes, it's one thing if you're the Washington Nationals and you're 26-40. There was no expectation for the Washington Nationals. The Cardinals have, at this point, a .391 winning percentage through 69 games in the season. I mean, you're approaching the halfway point. And I think still people go, well, maybe they'll turn it on. But even if they do, and even if they were to win 50 games, which would be a lot of the remaining schedule based on the current pace, they're still going to finish well below 500. They'd have 77 wins. So unless you're just going to write off the season, I would think that you have to do something. Because, again, Paul Goldschmidt, I know it might sound odd because we're kind of used to Cardinal players being around for a super long time. Paul Goldschmidt has only been here since what? After the 18 season, I believe, is when he came over. Right, yeah, it was after the 2018 season. So he hasn't been here that long. Well, he's up after next year, and on top of it, he's already in his mid-30s. So there's just math on that. And then you have another guy, it's the MVP, and you have another guy who could be an MVP at some point, certainly not at this moment, on the other side of the infield. And I would think you would want to seize that opportunity also, along with the fact that there isn't an Atlanta Braves or a Tampa Bay Rays or a Texas Rangers in the division. And so you have a team that's 2 games over 500 that's leading the division. And I just would think that even if he isn't the one who you would say it's on him, that you would do something somewhere to attempt to shake it up. And again, I recognize, and I agree with you, Doug, like what did Ali Marmol do yesterday that was his fault? From my standpoint, nothing. But the Cardinals lost 5 of 6 to 2 teams that, could be in the playoffs with the expanded playoffs. And I do think the Reds are live for the Central, but that's not necessarily an endorsement of the Reds so much as it's a criticism of the Central. I would be surprised if the Giants are in the mix for the West. And you're about to go on an 11-game road trip. Just the timing from that standpoint. If you're going to throw a Hail Mary, that's why I thought it was live. But as it turns out, at least amongst the key guys in that clubhouse, he has a great deal of respect. So all I'm doing is passing that along, and then that's corroborated by what Ben Fredrickson wrote. Plowhawk, I'm sure you're chomping at the bit, and we haven't heard from you since I started talking about this. What are your thoughts?
I kind of had a feeling, I said the other day, that his job would be safe till the end of the year. I don't think they want to portray, issues in the clubhouse, 4 managers in 6 or 8 years. I forgot what exactly it was. They don't want to be one of those teams talked about in the league to where it's kind of falling apart at the seams. I'm more shocked that the players have his back. It just doesn't seem like in the clubhouse, or not in the clubhouse, but like in the dugout. It just seems like everybody's going through the motions. Everybody's tight, walking on eggshells. So that I was surprised with, but I'm not surprised with Marmol finishing out the season now. If they didn't do it, a week ago, I'm just curious about what they're going to be doing at the trade deadline. I mean, they're clearly out of it. There's no way you can pick yourself up by the bootstraps now, correct? it seems like it's over.
I still would say I wouldn't rule them out. And I know that sounds so counterintuitive, but it has nothing to do at all with what they're doing. Obviously, it'd be very strange if I said, "Yeah, look at the way they're playing." I mean, they've been a disaster ever since that stretch in the middle of May. But it's just because the division's so bad. That's why I say that. And another thing, Caller Ellen just brought this up, and this is a very interesting observation, and I thought this, and this doesn't fit into the quotes. Ben is big on this, the Tyler O'Neill thing. And to be clear, my position, and Doug, I think we were in lockstep the morning after that happened and continue to talk about it. This is the overriding principle, and if I'm representing your opinion incorrectly, please say so, Doug.
Right.
It's not about, oh my God, he lost the clubhouse when he did that. It's not what I said. What I said, and I think, and again, you don't have to be in Major League Baseball or in sports to feel this way. Picture yourself wherever it is that you work, and if the person you report to in front of the office, because most people aren't going to have their jobs talked about in the media, but in front of the office staff, your effort is called out individually, you wouldn't really think too highly of that manager. And that's it. That's all it is. Now, if your effort is called out in a private one-on-one or two-on-one meeting, not in front of the rest of the team, so to speak, the staff, that's a different conversation. That's what I was talking about. And in my experience, bad leaders, some of whom our audience would be familiar with, do that kind of thing. And good leaders do not do that kind of thing. That's all that was. And it was surprising considering Ali Marmol does not have, say, Tony La Russa's gravitas. And also that in a bit of a surprising move, Tyler O'Neill was the starting center fielder at the beginning of the year, not Dylan Carlson. And you're 5 games in and you're calling out his effort specifically in the media when you had already addressed it with him behind closed doors. So what is the upside of taking him down in the media? So along those lines, Ben Fredrickson writes, revisionist history about Marmol's early season call-out of Tyler O'Neill's base running is the bigger reach, one supported more by fiction than facts. Marmol's challenge of O'Neill came with support from the clubhouse. How, then, could it be the reason Marmol, according to some, lost the clubhouse? And to be clear, that is not something what I am continuing to say, and I will say it until I'm gone, is that is just not the way that great leaders, in my experience, lead. You don't call people's effort. That's a different thing than performance. Effort out in public, especially to the media, but I would just say in a conference room at whatever place you work, especially if you aren't sitting on like a decade's worth of credibility. You've got a year and a half. But now maybe people are doing that in St. Louis media or fans. I have no idea. I can't speak to it. I don't get a chance to listen to as much stuff as I would really like to. But then he said, how then could it be the reason Marmol, according to some, lost the clubhouse? Marmol and O'Neill's relationship being on the rocks has a lot more to do with O'Neill and the team's relationship being on the rocks than the manager's standing with the players not named O'Neill. And what I would say surprises me from that is Marmol's challenge. I'm reading a quote. Marmol's challenge of O'Neill came with support from the clubhouse. I have to tell you, that sentence there surprises me. If indeed the clubhouse was saying, yeah, make sure you mention this in your post-game press conference, I would totally get if guys in the clubhouse were irritated with Tyler O'Neill for things that we're not aware of, including the way he rounded third base in the 5th game of the season and wanted Ali Marmol to say something to him in private. But I don't think it would speak real highly, but I also don't believe it's necessarily the case, if take your pick of whatever leaders on the clubhouse wanted Ali Marmol to go out in his post-game press conference and call him out in the media. That would really surprise me, because that's just not, that's outside looking in, although I've interviewed, Adam Wainwright, Nolan Arenado, Paul Goldschmidt, not to say that those would be the guys, but I mean, those are the 3 current faces of the team. If they were like, yeah, go out and take him out in the media, I mean, that's just not the way it's just not the way those guys in particular would work. I mean, it's just not the way that it would work. So anyway, there's that's what Caller Ellen was referencing, which I did think was a very interesting part of that column as well. Doug, what do you think?
Yeah, the O'Neill thing still puzzles me. I've never looked at him and said, boy, that's the guy that's really not giving 100%. I've never had that thought. And that the play in question, he got thrown out barely by the guy with the best arm in the league, in Acuna. Yeah. Why they chose that moment to make a stand, I was always puzzled by that. It didn't work very well for anybody involved. But, managers, just like players, can make mistakes sometimes, and I think Ollie made a big mistake that day, that post-game. But big picture, it just gets down to guys not getting the big hit. Goldschmidt and Arenado both struck out 3 times yesterday. They just can't seem to get the big hit with runners in scoring position when they really need it. And this is happening to guys that have done it their whole careers, and they're not doing it now. So I think a lot of people would like to see a change just because I don't think Marmol is very popular among the fan base for whatever reason. I think people would like to see a change just for change's sake at this point. But whether it's going to happen, I kind of doubt it.
What's even more surprising is nothing is being done from the front office. I mean, even if it's bringing up Mason Wynn and putting DeYoung on the bench, even if, I don't know, look at some of the guys in Memphis that have ERAs under 3, that have 3 or 4 saves. Hey, bring one up. What are you going to lose? Oh, can't send Verhagen down, can't send Palante down. They're doing so great. Send a couple guys down and bring some guys up. And see, that's where you found some of your closers in the past. You bring a guy up, and wow, he's got 5 saves in a row.
Why do you hate Jake Woodford?
I don't.
They brought him up, yesterday he pitched? 2 days ago.
Yeah, whenever Helsley got hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, they're not. I'm talking about guys that can get into the game and you send guys down and take their place. I mean, do something, but they do nothing. Except yesterday, a different lineup. That's because it's a day game after a night game. But it's the same lineup every night, the same pitching staff. Nobody goes down. You don't bring anybody up to try something. And you're 15 games under 500. Let's just keep throwing this out there. We're bound to win a game. I mean, maybe it's you look at it, we've lost 5 and 6, but we picked up a half a game. So you just keep doing that. You do the math. By the end of the year, you're tied.
I imagine if they had somebody they thought was ready, he'd be here.
How do you know they're ready unless you bring them up?
Well, if they're not killing it at AAA, they
I
think they're
just
not
said there's 3 or 4 guys down with the ERAs under 3 that are relief pitchers.
The thing
granted,
is
it's
here,
Memphis, but still.
The thing is, which kind of would blow people's minds, but if you look at the Cardinals' pitching performance, starting rotation actually in particular, and it's not absolute because there certainly have been some that haven't been good, but over the last, I would say, approximately 3 weeks, it's actually been in the top 25% in baseball. So, Jordan Montgomery, was he lights out yesterday? No. I mean, hell, he hadn't recorded an out, and the Giants had already scored a run and looked like they were about to break the thing open in the top of the first inning. But then he was able to go a decent distance into the game, and the Cardinals had already taken the lead. And it wasn't like he, got through 5 innings and allowed 6 runs and just kept it going. He managed that early inning disaster, and the Cardinal rotation, my point being, Flaherty had been outstanding up until his recent start. Miles Michaelis has been on. The starting pitching, again, it's by no means is it great, but recently it's been more about offense and converting opportunities with runners in scoring position, which they're failing to do. They had opportunities yesterday to break that thing open. Jordan Walker is absolutely hitting. They moved him up to 5th in the lineup yesterday. He delivered again. But you got a little peek, and I don't know how closely people were watching this, at the liability he is defensively on a ball that I think, honestly, all of us would have made look easier than he did. That little short shot to left center that he caught. You know what I'm talking about? Where he overran it. Looked like he might have, gone Joe Theismann with his legs.
Yeah, blew a tire.
Because he's just a liability. Now his offense is clearly there, and that's exciting. Jackson, I think we were talking about it after the game. I don't know who I was talking about it with, but maybe it was you, Nolan Gorman, and how he's been struggling relative to the way that he started out. So it's a team that at this moment it's actually more about offense than it is about pitching. But there are issues across the club. That's the thing.
Now I was talking mainly relievers. And I know there's different rules with options and that, who can be option, how many options, things like that. But if you're not going to fire, if you would fire a manager, is to shake things up. I think we all agree. I mean, it's not Marmol's fault. But you do that to shake things up. Well, change the roster a little bit and shake things up, see what happens. Because this isn't working.
You're right about that. Certainly is.
But if you don't blow it up, then what are you doing? Bringing the same Joe Schmoes next year? I'm way more interested in what you do in the next couple weeks.
That's why I'm really surprised, unless they're just going, holy crap, we've got Helsley out, we have all of our outfield is beat up. It's just not happening this year, and maybe they've arrived at that conclusion and they're comfortable with it. It just isn't the way it's been since Bill DeWitt has owned this team. And hey, these things are going to happen. I mean, hell, the run that they've been on is, and by that I mean the regular season run. Postseason wise, you certainly can't make reference to that because it hasn't been there. They've won one series in the last 9 years. But with regards to them just going, okay, we're just going to accept it and see what winds up happening, and we'll turn our attention toward 2024. That just hasn't been their business plan, and so that is why just kind of riding with it, that's the part that really surprises me. But when I speak with people in the know, that doesn't surprise them in any way, and if anything, it's their expectation. Your thoughts are welcome. 314-881-TMA5. That is how you can text, and you can call in 636-9004 TMA. You'll get a chance to talk with the great KG in O-Town, who is in the Seckman studios today. Iggy is in studio, but because we only have the 4 cameras when I pop up from a remote location, Doug, today, my basement, then somebody has to go. And Jackson, you said, I want the audience to see me, and you dispatched Iggy, and he doesn't get on camera.
That is not the case.
Oh, that's not it.
Jackson actually told me to sit in the middle, that you have to be on camera, and I said I'd rather not be on camera if we don't have one.
Why?
I will go ahead and give my camera up to Jackson, let him sit in the middle, and I'll sit over here. So it was Jackson.
Sacrifice your FaceTime?
It was Jackson who wanted me to sit there, and I said, nope, have at it. I can sit over here and a little.
Jackson's an honorable gentleman.
Thank you. Yeah, well, I think a good point guard knows that you get the ball in the hand of the hottest shooters, and that I got Klay Thompson to my left here, so I wanted to get him on camera. But I'm happy to be on camera now, Doug. I got a little tan after yesterday.
In case anybody's caring about what I'm wearing, I can.
Oh, yeah. Come over here, buddy.
He's going to pop up youtube.com/TMASD. Oh, Doug, it's a Casey shirt.
Okay. He's proud of it, too.
Yeah.
I love my Casey swag and my point swag and my WL swag. And
it's just swag, right? It's not SCH.
Swag.
It's swag.
But it's like putting a little sauce on the top of the sushi there, Doug.
I guess that's what it is. I don't do that either.
Really?
Doug, you're familiar with Big Old Fan. He and the Plowhawk are going to meet in the squared circle at some point, I think. He says, what is Iggy talking about? They're not multiple relievers in Memphis with under 2 ERAs.
Oh, why don't you go look?
He said 3, to be fair. He said
go look at the stats.
Big Old Fan, go look at the
stats.
stats.
Jojo Romero's like 2.4. There's another guy with 1.8.
There was a moment last season where we thought Jojo Romero would be the only trade deadline move, and all hell was going to break loose because Juan Soto was sitting there.
Yeah, that was a period of hours that you're going, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. Hey, Jeff Lotman is a loyal TMA listener, and he has one hell of a real estate business. Doug, you know what he is? He's a friend of the show.
Well, that's good.
He is a friend of the show. His name is Jeff Lotman. He's online at jefflotman.com, JEFFLOTTMANN.com. He joined Compass to start and build Compass St. Louis into the #1 luxury brand in St. Louis, as Compass, the largest luxury broker in the world. He has been doing it for 22 years with over $500 million in sales. But it's not like he's only going to be listing a house if it's worth millions of dollars, even though he recently was featured in the Wall Street Journal for selling the most expensive home in St. Louis. No, sir. He'll never turn down a referral no matter the price. Luxury is much more about the experience than the price. They treat all their clients the same way, and he can connect buyers and sellers in other cities across the world. JeffLotman.com, longtime TMA listener, friend of the program, and he is online at JEFFLOTTMANN.com. That's Jeff Lotman with Compass Realty. And if you are looking for a place to enjoy a libation, we would like to recommend Maggie O'Brien's and the great Eddie McVeigh. You can park there before or after a Cardinal game and take the shuttle for $2 if you're parking in the Market Street location. And, of course, a great place to tailgate. before and after a Doggies game. It is Maggie O'Brien's on Market Street and Sunset Hills. Been doing it for 4 decades. A local, family-owned Irish pub giving you great food and great service and a great time. It's Maggie O'Brien's, and I here at our house have had parties catered by Maggie O'Brien's, and they do an incredible job. Those chicken wings, so good, toasted ravioli, and many more options, all from Eddie McVeigh and Maggie O'Brien's, longtime TMA sponsor, and certainly also a friend of the show. It's Maggie O'Brien's, and you know the name of the game. It is support the sponsors, Maggie O'Brien's. Munganast, the sponsor of our 7 o'clock hour, online at stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com, and the Daily Fantasy Sports Showdown. Iggy, when do we have balls in the air for the U.S. Open? It's got to be coming up here in about, an hour or two, I would think.
8:45 St. Louis time, Tim. So
wow,
6:45 on the West Coast. Yeah, when you got 157 players, you got to get them out there early.
You got a Strodecast for L.A., or does your Doppler not get out to Southern California?
It's going to be nice. I mean, temperatures are going to stay in the 70s. Now, you may have a marine layer.
Marine layer alert.
May have a marine issue layer early in the morning. We'll see. That just comes out of nowhere, Doug. You can't predict the marine layer.
You can't.
It depends on the humidity and the weather in the morning and the temperature and things like that.
Well, if it depends on that, it seems like you could predict it.
Well, it comes in out of nowhere. I mean, just like, storms come in Florida in the afternoon out of nowhere. I mean, they don't know the weather in Florida. They say, chance of rain this afternoon. Yeah,
it's going to rain at 3:30 every day.
There's a chance it may.
It'll be about 10,000 degrees after it rains.
But I think the rain stays away. It's going to be light winds. But if you get that marine layer, Doug.
Yeah.
Marine layer.
Seems to be the key.
That softens up the greens, and that's not what the USGA wants.
Can you explain the marine layer to a layman like myself?
Well, what happens is the temperature over the ocean cools down. So instead of that burning off,
What's burning off?
Well, the marine layer, the sun and the humidity will burn that off, but when the temperature stays down and it's cool, the humidity's down, that doesn't burn off when the sun comes up. So the marine layer will move.
That's like fog?
Yeah.
Marine layer is fog.
Similar to fog, yeah. And it will soften up the greens because it's a kind of a moisture.
Fog softens greens.
Well, no. Marine layer does. It has liquid in it. It has precipitation in it.
Okay.
Just like, you sweat.
Yeah. Oh.
You get hot, humidity, you sweat.
Sure.
That's what's happening. The sky is sweating.
The sky is sweating.
That's right.
Isn't that just rain?
No.
No, it isn't.
It's dew. It's moisture.
Dew and moisture.
There's a difference. You get up in the morning and you see dew on the greens.
Sure you do.
It's not rain.
No.
LACC seems to be a decent amount away from the Pacific Ocean.
Well, you still get marine layer, so that's 7 miles.
Well, you mean it's not really. It's right up.
It's on Wilshire there
from the Santa Monica Pier.
Yeah, it's. I bet I'm thinking in the wrong way. I'm thinking like traffic, like how long it would take from like Santa Monica to get to LACC.
It takes 7 hours. Even though I think it's only.
Yeah, the distance is unaffected.
So if no marine layer, I mean there'll be no delay in the starts in the morning, but they don't want the marine layer, Doug. They want it to be fast.
And who's they?
The USGA.
Well, the hell with them.
Yeah, they don't want.
I don't care what they want.
They don't want 16 under winning like Koepka did a few years ago.
Why would that hurt anything?
They want to test. 16 under isn't a test. And this golf course is hard. I mean, I don't know what hole it is. 13. I saw on the Golf Channel. They dropped a ball on the edge of the left side of the fairway, which perfect shot. They dropped it, and the ball rolled 45 yards across the fairway into the right rough.
It's the biggest funnel I've possibly ever seen on a fairway.
That's stupid. That's
all
miniature
funnels
golf.
to the right.
That's why I'm looking for elite ball strikers.
That's poor.
You have to know where to put it in the fairway. Oh, look, I'm right in the middle of the fairway. Nope, that rolled in the right rough. The rough is no joke out there.
That's just building a bad course.
No, it's not.
If it's like that. There's no point punishing the perfect shot.
You got to play angles, Doug.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Well, I like seeing that kind of, because everybody's in it. You may be 3 strokes down going to the back 9. This guy could triple bogey this hole and bring 20 guys back into the tournament. I like tournaments like that where, you may be up by 5 strokes, but so what? There's a triple bogey right around the corner.
It's a fog, you dummy. I know. I grew up literally on the ocean. That's from the Warson Woods Wacko, and he is tired of hearing about marine layers.
Slight flex, too.
Well, what do you call it? We're delayed from fog. No, it's a marine layer. It comes from the ocean We get fog here. Where do you think? Do you think it comes from the ocean?
River
here?
to Pear, Doug. It's from the River to Pear,
come
right?
from here?
River to Pear.
I don't know where it comes from here, but it comes from fog. It has to do with the humidity and the temperature. But when you're by an ocean, it's called a marine layer.
What do you think the River
I
to
lived
Pear?
on an ocean. I grew up on an ocean. I'm rich.
Look, it's Ned Reynolds.
It was Ned Reynolds.
Do you think the River to Pear marine layer smells funny?
River to Pear smells funny. Just a backup canal is all it is.
Don't you think that the marine layer coming off of it?
Always a car in there.
If you're by an ocean, it's
that-
called a
that
marine
is true,
layer.
Plowhawk.
If you're not by an ocean, it's called fog.
So, like in San Francisco, when like all that fog is over the Golden Gate Bridge, is that a marine layer?
Could be.
Yeah, there we go.
Not necessarily.
Well, it depends. Where
Oh,
you
a
live.
marine layer depends on the temperature and the weather, kind of like any other weather-related event. Profound take, paw piss pants. Doug,
Oh.
that's from right out in the parking lot. You can see him, and that's little Tommy Tribbins. He's
Well,
on the
listen,
track.
Tribs. I mean, I was asked a question and I answered it. Why don't you go fall off your bike and
Oh,
wash your knee off in the fountain?
Nice. And the fountain is active. It is the Munganass St. Louis Acura Alton Toyota. 7 o'clock hour online at stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. Munganass, Jamie Burkhardt, Clayton Patterson. We saw Clayton Patterson at the game yesterday. Wonderful to see him. Peter Munganass at stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. Even if you didn't get your car from Munganass, get it serviced at Munganass. And you can use the secret number to go right to what Doug calls the Muckety Mucks. 314-252-0029. Text them any questions, comments, requests you may have. You know they're going to take care of our listeners. It's Munganass, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota, presenting sponsor of Balloon Party, 7 o'clock hour sponsor of TMA, and also the official automotive provider of the Tim McKernan Show podcast. They are the best. It's Munganass, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota. Go see what they have, both pre-owned wise and luxury vehicles, new vehicles. They got it all for you at stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. Quite a situation yesterday at Ballpark Village following the game. KG in O-Town, I guess you're the only other person there who could speak to it because you were bearing witness, Doug. The DJ, who is the gentleman who is known as that one guy on his jersey at Busch Stadium, he was spinning tunes at Bailey's Live, and there were some ladies out there on the dance floor.
Oh,
and
yes,
what
there
they were hungry for love.
Oh, were they really?
They were hungry for love. And Jackson was eyeing them, and he was really thinking about going out there and just seeing what the word was. He was thinking about it so really in depth that I put a pile of cash on the table to try to incentivize him with an understanding that I would shoot video of it, own the intellectual property, and he would have to be out there a minimum of 15 minutes. So he obviously really wanted to do it. But Jackson never got a chance to do it. And I bet you woke up this morning regretting, feeling like you missed a 2-foot putt, and it probably cost you a great opportunity.
You know, Tim, looking down upon the dance floor yesterday and hearing the tunes, my foot tapping, it really was
a lot of Pitbull playing yesterday, Iggy.
Yeah, there was.
Damn it.
It was a real opportunity for me not only to make money, but make friends.
How much money did he offer?
Friends that could last a lifetime. An undisclosed amount.
How much money?
I truly
$10,
don't remember.
20, 100?
Couple of units.
Yeah, a couple of units.
Were you not drunk enough? Well, I shouldn't say drunk. Where you had.
I don't feel like Rick was out, Iggy. I don't feel like Rick was out.
Because Rick was out in Jamaica. He got up on stage
Rick
and
was
danced
out
with
in
Doug.
Jamaica, absolutely.
The key in Jamaica is there are no keys in my pocket. I had to drive home yesterday, so there was no opportunity. I wasn't going to get drunk or even close to that. So, but that doesn't mean I can't dance. I like to dance, Doug.
Do you really?
Sober, drunk, I don't care.
Oh, God.
If the music's good enough, I'll dance, and I'll dance with anybody, to be honest with you.
Why didn't you get up there?
The tunes were, there was one, they played Uptown Funk by Bruno Mars, and I think Mark Ronson, who's Lady Gaga's close collaborator. And that is one of my favorite songs to dance to. I can really cut up a rug when that song
Can you
comes
really?
up. Yeah, I really do like that one.
And not hurt yourself?
Yeah, oh yeah, it'd be
What
just
about
fine.
Pitbull Timberland?
What song?
Timberland.
Isn't that the collaborator working?
Kesha. I think he's thinking of Kesha, Timber.
Oh, Timber by Kesha?
With Pitbull.
With Pitbull.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like a country tune.
They played that yesterday. That played.
Did they? I would have started moving and grooving to that.
How old were these ladies you had your eyes on?
Well, that's
24.
times 2.
Yeah, 44.
Now we're getting. Now we're
nice.
hovering around the right number.
Do you ever see that one that I sent a picture of? Did you ever see her again?
Yeah.
She over there?
Doug, what are we talking about?
I don't know.
I know. This is
secret talk on a public station.
Well, she was at our
I'm gonna think I know what he's talking
she was at our
about.
TMA.
Oh, wow, KG in O-Town.
She was at our live broadcast.
These were not the women who were dancing.
Well, I'm not gonna. I don't know her name.
I get it.
I'm just asking Jackson.
The
listeners aren't part of this.
She was
take a break. I'm talking to Jackson.
Doug, the listeners can take a break.
We're telling people to turn off their radios right now so we can talk amongst ourselves.
She was not on the dance floor, but these women, they sure were. And I was thinking about it when the one song came out, and then another gentleman went out there to dance.
Oh, did he?
And I would describe him as swarmed. He was swarmed.
Oh, really?
And I said
They were interested.
I don't know if I want
Absolutely.
You talking about the American flag fella?
Yeah, he had a flag with him. He had Old Glory with him. And,
How many women were out there dancing?
Upwards of 5.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
and
there wasn't one that caught your eye?
Well, no.
Because they were old enough to be your mother.
That's part of it, but that age is just a number, Doug, and I think that's
Depends on how
important to
desperate
note.
you are.
Right, and like I said, I'll dance with anybody.
Will you?
Dancing itself can be very platonic, You and I could dance. You danced with Walter Payton. Do you have a relationship?
He was leading. And I felt bullied into dancing with him.
Is Bailey?
Did he grab your belt?
The photographer's belt. He tried to take it off.
Is Bailey?
Guys, let me make this straight. Let me get this straight. So the cracked leather jockstrap is taking photos of random women at TMA shows. Creep level 1,000. Doug, that's from the Veiled Prophet.
Mm-hmm.
Is Bailey's paying their rent on that place?
I think they just pay for the sign, dog.
But I mean, are they paying for that?
I mean,
they're
Doug,
bankrupt.
do you have any of the financials?
They're bankrupt. I mean, are they paying their rent or paying for their signage there? Take it down if they're
They
not.
probably paid up
They're
front with
picking
the
and
sign.
choosing what they're paying.
Okay.
They have chosen to not pay many Major League Baseball teams recently, and Major League Baseball is flawlessly broadcasting Padres games like nothing ever happened. So
I'm gonna not pay my rent and just continue to live there.
yeah,
A lot of
they
people
say
do that.
Bailey's is the way it works. So this lass who Iggy brought up was at the at Ballpark Village. She was not, as Jackson noted, one of the ladies he was very tempted by on the dance floor, even though the pile of cash I had thrown onto the table didn't get him on the dance floor. And then my understanding is one of the salespeople at Hubbard Radio St. Louis texted me and Jackson and said she yelled when he walked out to the parking lot, "Free Dotem" at him in an Uber. So she really is not just, an attractive lass who I think, I think this is who Iggy took the picture of.
Gotta be.
Okay. But she's a fan of the program. And if that is indeed the case, I would say we're talking about, in a stunning development, a lady in her 20s who is a loyal listener who yelled out to one of our salespeople, "Free Dotem." How about that?
Well, it's a lousy thing to yell. It's a vile thing to yell.
I met another young female listener at the ball yard.
Look at this guy, Doug.
Oh, gosh, you were moving and shaking.
I went to go grab a bottle of water.
And then what happened?
And I said, "Excuse me," as I walked past somebody. She goes, "Are you Jackson? I recognize your voice from TMA." So now she clearly listens. If she could all I said was "Excuse me,"
Really?
If she picked up on that.
Wow, look at this guy.
I saw a lady walk up and put a beer right in his hand.
Yeah.
Wow, look at this guy.
You're kind of throwing around your celebrity.
Listen, I just was sitting there enjoying the ball game. My brother and sister-in-law were there. I sat with them for a little bit and having a good time. If people want to drop me off a beverage, who am I to say no?
There are a lot of ladies there. I saw Rebecca was there. I saw Laura.
Doug, Rebecca, and Laura.
Erica was there. She had a
Erica was there.
Iggy for Mayor hat on. Wanted me to sign it, but I didn't have a Sharpie.
No, you can't sign. You can't sign during a game.
Katie Cook
Imagine
was
the
there.
crowds that would
I don't know if she got to the game. I think they all went over to Steve at Ballpark Village. I don't know if they made it to the game.
This is huge.
But there were quite a few women there who listened to the show.
Doug, I mean, we are essentially now competing with Courtney for the female audience in St.
Feels
Louis.
like
I mean,
it.
that's what this show is.
Yeah, it sure feels like it. Jackson can't go anywhere anymore without the women literally throwing themselves at him, apparently.
And our sales staff was there. Corey was there. Maggie was there. Melissa from our promotions department was there. If I'm missing anybody, I apologize. But
What about Ann Heche?
Yeah, what about her?
she's
I
with
didn't
us
see her.
anymore.
Oh, she's not with us anymore either.
No,
Makes it even hit closer to home.
Yeah.
it's too soon.
Yeah, but they're the women on the dance floor. I don't believe were TMA listeners.
You don't think so?
Didn't strike me as such. Maybe the gentleman who got swarmed by them was a TMA listener.
What happened to him?
Call in. I don't know. I looked like he was swallowed whole.
They carried him away.
Yeah, I think he probably is. He was rubbed raw from that over the last 24 hours, would be my guess. But this lass, who Iggy is making reference to, that yelled freedom. We were saying, like, Jackson, why don't you make a play? But Jackson believed she was a married woman married to one of the TMA listeners. And Doug, this is a program that does not cuck its listeners.
No.
Respect the sanctity of marriage.
I don't think we have any track record of anyone cucking.
You just dissented on that position.
Have you cucked a listener?
Wouldn't stop me.
Just because there's a goalie doesn't mean you can't score.
Well, he may be a listener, but so is she.
And that means green flag. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Green
So you
window.
think, Iggy, he would have been honored for Jackson to go and pursue his wife because he's a listener?
I think some people are such big lemmings of the show that they'd be honored if someone on the show cucked them.
Oh, come on.
Naughty.
Not the case.
I wouldn't mind moonlighting as a bull.
Yeah, I was
clip that up.
naughty little girl I was.
Dillian.
You would moonlight as a bull?
I don't see why not. Don't you think that would be like a nice second
Yeah,
act
I mean,
for me?
that seems to me as a great gig. That's
Side
what a
hustle.
wonderful gig.
A bull never gives up.
Right. See, that's what I'm saying.
Like at night?
Yeah.
You'd run around to
Yeah.
listeners' homes? And
By day, I give takes, and by night, I take wives.
Oh.
Look, I do cameos.
Put that off.
I get people to send me requests for cameos. They can send you a request to come over and service their wives.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. And I don't even need payment. It would be like altruistic. Like I want to make sure
You're
everybody's
doing them a favor.
right. Well, that's the idea. Or
And
it's
the
more of an
husband,
honor.
Are you doing the husband a favor?
Sure.
Yeah, if they're a big enough lemming, they'd be on. Oh, I can't believe Jackson was with my wife last night. Oh, I'm never washing that pillow again.
Ugh.
You think maybe we're taking ourselves a little too seriously?
I don't think we're
Doug,
taking
we're
ourselves
huge
seriously
stars.
enough.
We're on HD2.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Did you not?
So once Jackson rejected what I thought was a very fair offer to go down there and dance for a minimum of 15 minutes, and again, the contract said I would own all intellectual property. I then moved those dollars over to my wife, who theoretically owns 50% of those dollars anyway. But nonetheless, I then moved them over to my wife, and I said, all right, you go down there and you find out if she's really married, and then see if she's not, then make the introduction between Jackson and this lass, and then see if we can spark magic between the two. But she rejected that. So
Yeah.
nobody would take my offer yesterday.
Maybe this girl's listening now and knows we're talking about her.
I don't know.
She yelled
who it
free
is.
dotem at Dylan. I know that.
You yelled free dotem, and I know you had a pair of white pants on.
Maybe it was Bill's wife.
Oh, my God. Was that Bill's wife?
Gosh, it could
Nice
have
red
been.
lipstick on. I think, dark top. I don't know what color. I don't remember.
Nice red lipstick.
Those are attractive. If you're listening, call in.
Call in, lipstick wearer.
Can you change my name to the Moonlight Bull? That's from Wedding Tackle. He wants that.
You got it.
Bull for hire? That's kind of what you are?
Yeah, but I don't need money, essentially. Like, I don't, like, I think...
Wow, Doug, now he's really flashing his wealth in our face.
But it's not even about, like the side hustle element of it. I want to improve listeners' sex lives. And by extension...
You sound desperate to me.
Their marital lives. Me?
You're offering complimentary bull services.
Yes, and I think that's a nice thing.
No, you need to get paid for it. I mean, I keep my cameo at $25. It's, affordable.
Well, you're a gigolo.
But if I go, like I did one yesterday? No, the day before. And it was like 8 minutes long. They had all these bullet points that wanted me to cuck this guy. And it was actually a girl wanted me to cuck the
Dense
dude.
cucking.
He took it badly.
And I look at it. I look because the timer's going at the bottom of the video while I'm doing it. I said, and by the way, I said, some of these big time celebrities, they give you 30 seconds. Woo, I'm Ric Flair. Have a happy birthday, and that's it. You pay $150
But
bucks.
you're
for
not
that.
on the level of Ric Flair.
I'm no big celebrity, but I'm looking at the thing. I said, I'm on 8.5 minutes here. I said, so just to be honest, there is a little tip thing here. If you want to throw some extra money in
You're
there.
begging for tips.
Yeah, I'm not beyond that.
Did
So
you
I
get
can't
one?
believe you would do it for free. You should ask for money.
Did you get a tip?
I don't know. I didn't look.
Rockio gets the money for that.
He was handling the money
still
for
letting
the
us speak.
family.
Yeah, he's still letting
Goes
us-
through the Kansas City guys in the back of the deli. If you don't remember what color lipstick she was wearing, Iggy, then check the sneaky picture you took of her Papa Creep. Doug, that's from Tug McGraw, and he closed out the 1980 World Series.
Well, it wasn't a sneaky picture. She's in a picture with about 20 other people. I took a picture of the crowd yesterday, and she happened to be sitting at a table.
Oh, did she?
I didn't sneak a picture of her.
I want to make love.
That would be me. That would be me. I live close enough to 44 and 64. I could be anywhere in the city or county in 20 minutes flat.
Really?
Ready
Look at this guy.
ready to be an altruistic bull.
Complimentary bull services available.
Yeah, actually, I'll need gas money. That's all I need.
Oh, so it's not
Well,
complimentary.
I can't have a loss. I want net square. I don't want to be losing money on this.
Yeah, maybe they'll make you a sandwich before you leave.
Yeah, that'd be fine. I mean, yeah, like
Just a sandwich.
a charcuterie board, something to snack on. Grapes.
nice.
I like grapes a lot. It's a great snack.
If you're interested in Jackson serving as a bull for you, please text into the EDF group text inbox 314-881-TMA5. If you are Bill's wife, and that was Bill's wife yesterday? I thought Bill's wife had ink, and I don't believe this last had ink. Doug, did she have ink?
I don't even know who we're talking about, Tim.
Iggy, send her the picture you took.
Did you see Bill's wife's most recent text?
No.
What does it say?
I can improve Jackson's sex life.
Wow.
Oh, the offers are starting to come in.
And she is Bill's wife, so I would be doing this for Bill.
Yeah.
This one's for Bill.
Not for you at all.
I would say it. I'd say this one's
Come
for
here,
Bill.
big fella.
Yeah, and then I'd give him a smooch. But yeah, that's kind of how you could just put the bull signal up in the sky, and then I would know.
Throw that Arnold Palmer one up there, Plawsy.
Maybe they have that service on Google Maps. You know how you can search for restaurants? They can just search for bulls.
Yeah, bulls near me. And there I am.
You search for guys that
Right
want to
down
get
the
cucked. Guys that want to get cucked.
But I don't want to necessarily do like straight.
You don't want to
cucking.
berate a gentleman.
No, I don't think I have that in me. I'm not a berater. Like as a leader, like I inspire. I don't necessarily berate.
How many guys would want to get cucked?
Eggs?
What percentage of men really want?
Yeah, give us a percentage.
It's a kink.
American men. Percentage.
Because you know we don't kink shame.
I
do.
American men?
Yeah.
1%. Maybe less than 1%.
I would think
Yeah,
it's
that's
less than
probably
1%. Yeah.
1% might be high.
Because I think
I don't know. I think 4%.
I think 10% probably get cucked at some point.
Right,
While
unintentionally.
they're there on the Davenport,
No, they're cheated on.
cheated on.
That's probably higher than 10%. I'd probably
Guys wanted to be with him.
I'd probably go 45% of guys have been cheated on before in their
Oh,
life.
come on.
Oh, that's high.
45%.
What was your number,
men?
Iggy?
45% of all men in this country have been cheated on at least once in their lifetime.
So you're not including marriage. You're just talking about in general.
Well, I'm including marriage and if you're dating somebody and you're...
Well, I know that's what I'm saying. That you're not just talking about spouses cheating.
No, just
You're
at
talking about
any point in your
girlfriends,
life,
boyfriends.
any point in your life, whether you were dating someone, engaged, married.
I would actually say higher than that.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Over.
Yeah, I would you'd go over KG and O-Town?
Yeah, for sure.
Now, married men, I would say probably 35%. Married women,
1 out of 3 wives are cheating.
married women, I would say probably 70%.
That
I
seems
would take
awfully
the under
high.
on that.
Awfully high to
No.
those numbers.
Married women getting cucked.
Getting
Married
cucked.
women.
Well, getting
being
cheated on.
cucked.
Married women getting cheated on. I would say 65% of all women, married women in this country, have been cheated on at least once.
65%.
God, I don't. I still would take the under, honestly, and I'm pretty pessimistic on altruism, but I would still take the under. Where are you going on that one, Doug? You going under or over?
I would think under. I would hope under.
Well, I'd hope it'd be 0, but that's not the case.
Yeah, no, it's not zero.
If it's 0, then our business plan is kind of in the muck.
So much for bulling around.
Yeah, the Davenport or foot of the bed thing really actually gives me pause. That seems like a very uncomfortable situation.
Well, I had that guy beaten off at the end of my bed that one time, and I just powered on through him.
And credit to you, Tim, because I don't know if I have that level of focus in me.
If you would have had the two women doing what they were doing in front of me, and then Doug, I think it was 5 o'clock on my clock, I turned back. I'm like, oh, yeah, where'd that guy go? And then he's there in my office chair pleasuring himself.
Oh!
Certainly alarming. But again, I had way more positivity in front of me. The alarming setting behind me with the gentleman in my office chair stroking himself was enough to just ignore it. I moved on. But I think that was probably because I was intoxicated. I think if this were like 3 in the afternoon, I might not have been able to power through as effectively.
Right, that's kind of my thoughts on it. And I'd actually be okay with like a Davenport or potted plant situation. But like if they're sitting on the foot of the bed and like my foot catches a piece of a gentleman's thigh hair or something.
Oh, dog! It's getting hotter now.
I think I would become soft as a mouse. So
just because you're a slime ball doesn't mean 70% of married men are cheating. That comes from beer cats.
I guess he meant that.
I won't touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Why not?
He's withdrawn.
Hello.
He's just gone silent.
Good for you, KG.
Radio silence.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Hello, Vivian.
I won't respond to that.
Why?
I said 65%.
For the record. Love you, Jackson, but the only TMA bulls I'd allow within my marriage would be Tim and Doug. P.S. Great QFTA this week. I can't wait to use the term ass-locker in my everyday lexicon. Really wonderful content. Doug, that's from Scott's wrinkled ballsack, but not his wife.
Oh.
It's just from Scott himself. And so he is inviting me and you over to the peninsula for an evening.
I don't even know what a peninsula is.
Is he teasing?
I'll drive.
I mean,
is he teasing right now?
No, I'm never involved in those things with him. Once I'd like him to say, Iggy, you're invited to come over and cheat on my wife with me, or cheat on me with my wife.
Just once you'd like that to happen.
Come over and service my wife. Just once I'd like to be included in that.
And you've had your feelings hurt now?
No.
I don't know if that key would get in the car fast enough if you got that in there.
I wouldn't even have the sentence done. I'd be halfway there.
Would you?
Can I call in? That's from Mr. Licks. Mr. Licks is sideways with KG in O-Town, or you guys are on good terms? I can't remember where everybody's relationships are.
Oh, no, we're 100.
Oh, okay.
We're 100.
Well, Mr. Licks, feel free. 636-9004-TMA. Guys, I just tuned in. What is Jackson talking about? That's from Clevie Way.
Well, go listen to the podcast. We're not here to recap because you're late.
I'll do it briefly. I'm just kind of like, I have the idea, like I'm just kind of chewing the fat on possibly being a bull for hire. Mm-hmm. But again, hire is a strong word.
Complimentary bull service.
Yeah, I would just...
You got to pitch that on Balloon Party, see how it plays.
Bull Balloon Party, that's what they'd be calling it after a couple weeks under the belt.
Oh. Balloon Party.
Balloon Party. Hey, if you are feeling like you are not feeling particularly great, dealing with feeling tired all the time, perhaps putting on some weight, losing muscle, feeling anxious, feeling moody, irritable, these are symptoms of low testosterone. So what you can do is check out Mentality. And you can do that today at lowtusa.com. I checked out Mentality, and I got my levels of testosterone checked out at Mentality. Took about 20 minutes. Super friendly staff. Great to get the results. Great to know what the situation is. And that's Mentality at lowtusa.com, a local healthcare facility specifically dedicated to helping men feel and perform at their very best. When you feel like you don't have the energy or drive to keep up with your kids after work, if you could just feel like you did 5 or 10 years ago, so you can be present with your family and be the father, husband, and friend you know you can be, that's where Mentality can help you. It does not matter what age you are. Low testosterone could be an issue with any guy. And even if you've tried testosterone before, not everyone understands the blood chemistry in men's bodies the way they do at Mentality, and that's why they can help out. Go to lowtusa.com and compete at work and at sports like you did years ago. It's Mentality, lowtusa.com. That is Mentality. Sign up to be the TMA Lister of the Month with Milagro Tequila, TMASTL.com. Welcome to a brighter side of tequila with Milagro. It's TMASTL.com. Tequila.com. Milagro Tequila, sponsor of our TMA Lister of the Month, and it is June 15th, so we are heading down the stretch of the month of June. Could Buck Swope repeat as the Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month? Apply at tmastl.com, and also compete in the Design Air Heating and Cooling Email of the Day the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Design Air, sponsor of our Email of the Day. Buck Swope references the possible Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month because he is a pretty comfortable lead in the June Design Air Heating and Cooling Email of the Day standings. He has 4 wins: Blueberry Pop Pop, Brian Henshin, Kevin Miller, Whittlebeans Kirkwood, Jimmy Stronglegs, and Doty's Golf Move all have 1 move. Doug, Mr. Licks is on the line, and he wants to talk about it all.
Line 2, Plowsy, line 2.
Line 2, Plowsy. All right, hello, Licks. Licks. Yes.
Hey, guys.
Bring up the energy level a little bit, please.
It was a long day yesterday.
Why?
I went to the game, had a lot to drink.
Did you?
Saw a lot of TMA people. By the way, if you just mouth the word Padel at Sportsman's, people light up like a Christmas tree.
If you do what now? I didn't catch all that.
Roger Goodell?
I thought he said mouth sores.
No, if you mouth the word Padel. You guys know what Padel is?
No.
Oh, jeez.
Well, pardon the hell out of us. What does it mean?
It's like you know how pickleball sucks because it's just like an old person sport.
Okay.
This is like for actual athletic, normal people that can like still move their legs. It's like in between tennis and pickleball.
So is it pickleball on a tennis court?
I was talking Padel at Sportsman's last night, and people were coming up to me like, will you please start it here? I will invest in Padel. Like, please bring it to one of the clubs. So, I don't know. Keep your eyes and ears to the ground for Padel.
Okay, fascinating story.
I want to give some shout-outs. First, I can't believe Iggy doesn't know what his middle and ring finger is called. Is that right? Did he really say that?
Well, he asked that yesterday or the day before, I guess, and we got it cleared up.
Yeah.
But hey, I met Caller Drew yesterday. Shout out to Caller Drew. We touched each other. And
where?
At the rooftop of patios.
Oh gosh.
Shout out to Steve in Ballpark Village. We enjoyed each other as well. Shout out to Dan.
What is this, romper room? I see Susie, I see Billy, I see Johnny.
Hey, whoever sold the sponsorship for Iggy's little weather bit deserves some kind of award.
It's a nice little sponsorship.
Like employee of the friggin' decade, okay? Like, imagine that pitch. Like, hey, yeah, so there's this guy on issue 2 that muses on the weather in Maryland Heights. You want to buy that spot?
Well, we have good salespeople. They sold it.
Take that, Wicks.
That guy needs Iggy. You need to go, and you don't even have to say the library. It's your spot. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It is kind of amazing when you think about it.
Yeah, it is. That's how it goes. Just happy the station's making money. That's fine.
Couple more shout-outs, and then I'll get off the phone. First, I just can we pump the brakes on this Pepper and Jeannie comeback I heard yesterday? I do not want that to happen.
No, it's coming back for one day, and Jackson's going to be part of it. We're going to break down Succession as soon as Plowsy watches it. Will you finish it today so we can do it tomorrow, Plowsy?
Oh, I can give it a go, yeah. I can knock out a few episodes. I think I've only 3 episodes left.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be fun.
Here's a tip. That Truffles Arnold Palmer don't play.
Truffles Arnold Palmer don't play. Truffles, is that a restaurant in Ladue?
Yeah.
They got a good Arnold Palmer there,
Right there by where Bush's Grove used to be.
Yeah, I know where it is. But they got a good Arnold Palmer there?
Yes.
How's it better than it's tea and lemonade?
Yeah.
What's the secret sauce?
Okay. I didn't want to break it down.
Okay.
Lastly, David Faber isn't getting talked about enough. I want to give a shout out to him for getting the exclusive with Daddy Yasser and Jay. So that's all I got. I just shout out to all those TMA people. Yesterday's a great day. Thanks.
Okay, Lex.
Well, Mr. Lex, Doug, hanging out with Chairman Steve. I didn't know that they hung out together.
And he touched somebody. He touched caller Drew, did he say?
Yeah. All right.
Has anybody else heard about this concert coming in like a week?
Changing the subject now?
Well, we're talking about Licks. I mean, is there anything interrupting Licks is going to be a big deal?
Okay, no, I guess
But the Outlaw Music Festival at the Hollywood Amphitheater, Willie Nelson, Robert Plant, Alison Krauss, why didn't I hear that? And it's coming June 25th.
Well, I don't
No,
know
I'm
what to
just
say.
curious if anybody else has heard that.
I have not heard about that.
I haven't. That's, what, in 2 weeks? Less than 2 weeks.
Willie Nelson is still touring.
Yeah.
How old
He's like
would Willie
90,
Nelson?
I think. 88, something like that.
The last time I heard him on some country music award show, he could barely sing a word. And this was a couple years ago.
90. He's 90.
90 bills. Wow.
I think like his youngest child is pretty young.
Still smoking pot, too. Well, De Niro just had a kid. So did Pacino, and they're both in their 70s, almost 80.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe shooting oatmeal by then.
Oh.
Doug, they call it shooting oatmeal, he says. Muggin' Ass 7 o'clock hour here on the Ryan Kelly Morning After. The Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today comes your way at 9:45. I am going to sign off for today's presentation.
Play well,
Doug,
Tim.
I'm going to go... Thank you, Iggy. I'm going to go try to carry over the success you brought us in the par 3 competition today. And then I will pay homage to the wives at the pool by saying Ken Strode says hello.
Tell Bohouse I said I miss him.
I'll tell Bohouse that you miss him. I will rejoin. Jackson, are you doing balloon party by yourself today and now going to let him know it's called ball loon party? Is that how you're going to hand?
No, Randy and Carrie and Brooke and Matt Rocchio are doing the extra hour, but they know I'm ready in the bullpen. Literally the bullpen.
Bullpen.
Wow.
Meaning,
Fun with puns.
Yep.
Fun with puns. All right, time for us to take a commercial break here to close out the Muggin' Ass St. Louis Acura Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour. I'll be back with the boys on Monday. Jackson, you'll be running point here in the second half of today's radio presentation. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
TMA wants to send you to Evolution Festival, a new elevated music festival experience coming to Forest Park August 26th and 27th, featuring the Black Keys and the Black Crows, plus Brandy Carlisle and Harper and the Innocent Criminals, Brittany Howard, Ice Cube, Morgan Wade, and more. This is our town. This is our time. This is our evolution. Tickets for this elevated bourbon and barbecue experience over 2 days in Forest Park are on sale now, but you can win your way in on the TMA app. If you don't have it, find out how to get it at TMASTL.com. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
Mortgage interest rates have started to drop, and that's great news. The difference between a rate in the 7s and a rate in the 5s could save you hundreds of dollars a month. But if you've been wanting to buy a new home, you need to act fast. And with inventory already near record lows, home prices will start to rise again. Don't miss out on your chance to get a lower interest rate and an affordable purchase price on the home of your dreams. Get pre-approved today by visiting thehomeloanexpert.com, home of the 10-day closing guarantee. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
Engineer Design Facilities is moving forward as the EDF Group, the most experienced data center and critical facilities service provider in the St. Louis market. Check out the newly revamped website, theedfgroup.com, and take a look at each of the 3 divisions they have to offer. EDF Group is your one throat to choke for all your critical facilities, data center, commercial fire alarm, and electrical and IT infrastructure needs. To contact the EDF Group, email fire@theedfgroup.com. Experience the EDF Group difference and learn more at theedfgroup.com. Hey, this is Tim McKernan. I'm with a great sponsor of TMA, and that's Longo Biggs of the Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm. People are starting to head out now. It is summertime, but that means an increase in car accidents.
Hey guys, like Tim just said, summer is finally here, and that means there's more people on the roadways. And you might be going to a Cardinals game, or maybe you're headed home from taking your buddy's money on the golf course. But with increased traffic on the roads, it also means a higher likelihood for car accidents. If you get in an accident, contact our firm immediately. We've successfully handled a countless number of car, motorcycle, and truck accidents. And if you go to our website, you will see we have received awards for doing so. We will make the process easy for you while maximizing the compensation you receive. Go to our website or Google Longo Biggs Injury Law.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisement.
Hey, if you like the morning after, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's sports talk with Tim McKernan and Action Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday, right after the morning after. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good, so check it out on 101 ESPN or get the podcast on the TMA app.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
Hello, it's Jackson for Rosalita's. TMA listeners know that Rosalita's Cantina has the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From tableside guac to piled high nachos, the amazing menu at Rosalita's is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita, and Rosalita's has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6, and let Rosalita's cater your next event. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita's.
Men suffering from ED or PE? The medical providers at Paramount Men's Medical Center offer breakthrough treatments that eliminate problems in the bedroom. 98% of men see instant results on their first visit, regardless of age or medical history. For a limited time, call Paramount Men's Medical Center. Your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. Plus, get a free gift that will enhance your performance in the bedroom. All this, worth hundreds of dollars, is free if you call Paramount Men's Medical Center now at 314-720-8210. That's 314-720-8210.
This Sunday is Father's Day, and this year, honor the father in your life by capturing their life story in their own voice, in a tribute that will last forever. It's all made possible with Sound Story, and you get a Father's Day gift certificate for a Sound Story by using promo code TMA at mysoundstory.com. Imagine learning about their childhood, their education, their career, their values, and their life lessons. Imagine always having their voice, their laughs, their emotions to listen to anytime today or years from now. At Sound Story, we host an hour-long interview with your family members with the goal of creating an audio heirloom that can be passed down for generations to come. And the price points start as low as $250. Simply visit mysoundstory.com to schedule your interview and choose the interviewer and the price that fits your family best. And remember, use the promo code TMA for 20% off at mysoundstory.com.
Urban Dictionary defines thirsty as purposely, knowingly, and recklessly attempting to gain fame to boost self-esteem. So, are you thirsty? Well, TMA has you covered. Become a part of the 2023 TMA Listener of the Month Club. You nominate yourself for a monthly award. And if you win, you get recognition and stuff to help you satisfy that insatiable thirst. We're talking January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, etc. Go to TMASTL.com or the TMA app. Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information. Tell us why you deserve to be TMA Listener of the Month. And if you don't want to use your real name or photo, we don't really care. The TMA Listener of the Month. Get recognized just for being you or fake you or whatever. Quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to the brighter side of tequila with Milagro in the morning after on KPNT HD2.
I'm gay. Now.
The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPNT FM HD2.
Collinsville, St. Louis.
We're bringing the World Series back. Yeah. Those Cardinal players just know how to act. Yeah. They'll kill those Tigers with the swing of the bat. Yeah. 'Cause those Red Birds just know where it's at. Yeah. Bring it to the loop. Baseball fans.
Listen to that
you see these
soprano there.
Cardinals are the best
This is
in the
very
land. They gonna whip ya if you misbehave.
Who's getting
'Cause they
whipped?
know to wash their hands before they play.
What would that have to do
Take
with
it to
anything?
St. Louis. Home run Pujols, World Series, baby. Strikeout Carp, World Series, baby. Home run Yachty, World Series, baby. Strikeout Soup, World Series, baby.
It's great when you can sing in the same octave note the entire time.
I'm sure the other ball clubs didn't like this song at all.
It would strike fear into their hearts, just like we strike fear into the listeners' hearts. Because the core four, baby. Action Jackson here with you here on the Ryan Kelly Morning After. Doug Vaughn to my right. Across the dais from me, Darren the Plowhawk Atkins. And just entering the Michelob Ultra Studios to my left, Ken Iggy Stroh. And on the phone lines, the great Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies. Good morning, Mark.
A mere add-on to the core four.
Yeah.
Nothing. Can't hold a torch to the four of you.
Yeah, and KG Notes, and I apologize. We really are the Fab Five.
That's all right, buddy.
And now with Mark, we're the Sweet Six.
Yeah, it feels like it.
Yeah. I like that. So if during those World Series runs there were those that amazing music, what would be the song that somebody could put together as an ode to this amazing Cardinals team?
Some sort of funeral march?
Yeah, 2020. Yeah, boy, that's a good question there, Mark. Boy.
A dirge of some sort.
Yeah, a power ballad. Hello by Adele. I feel like that would be our swan song.
Wasn't that Lionel Richie? Didn't he do Hello?
There's probably multiple people who have sung Hello. Hello is the hello from the other side.
Yeah, that one, okay.
Hello, is it wins you're looking for?
Oh, there it is.
Exactly. Yeah, I think so. I think we'll roll with that. Mark, how's everything in your world?
Oh, it's good. It's good. It's summertime, talking to people about vacations, thinking about vacations and time with family, and so that's active on my mind, and it's a big part of what we talk about when we do that planning stuff, making sure that you are in a position that you can enjoy life and having your finances in position to do that. So I'm thinking about a fishing trip to Canada for myself in a few weeks, and so I hope everybody else has got some good plans put together.
Ooh, fishing in Canada, Doug.
I know you love it when I worry about the stock market today, but it has been on kind of a nice little run here the last couple of weeks. You expecting better things to come here in the near term future?
It is so normal that it bounces around. Near future, there is no way to know. So there was news that came out yesterday that they held the interest rates, and the stock market declined afterwards. Did that make any sense?
No.
I don't know. There are lots of different ways that you can slice it. And so it was another bit of proof that day to day, you just never know what's going to happen. And it's all about having that time to allow for the volatility to play out, that things come back. And so short term, I wish I could say with confidence, can't. Short term's unknowable, but it's the long term that matters.
That's Mark Hanna, Evergreen Wealth Strategies. Mark, you're a great American. Thank you, sir. Thank you, as always.
Have a great day, guys.
Thank you,
Happy Father's Day, Hansy.
Mark Hanna, Evergreen Wealth Strategies.
Well, I think he hung. I didn't want to have like a click and hang up.
A little Penkle situation. Yeah, so welcome to the Ryan Kelly Morning After. Tim is out for the remainder of today's show, and then tomorrow's show will, of course, be the four of us. KJ Notan, you still possibly coming in tomorrow?
Up in the air, I'll let you know.
Up in the air. One of my favorite films, Doug, with George Clooney and Vera Farmiga.
That was one of your favorite movies?
I really liked that movie.
That's right. I hung out with Clooney when he was in town filming
for heaven's sakes.
Where'd you hang out with him? The Ritz?
Napoli.
You hung out with him. He called you and said, "Hey, Iggy, can you get me?"
So you've had a conversation with George
I said
Clooney.
hi to him, and he said hi to me. I went up to the bar and said hi to him. He's like a normal guy. He didn't have a roped-off area. When I worked at the Breckenridge, these celebs would come in, and they would go into the back, and they'd put a velvet rope around, and I'd have to wait on them. Charlton Heston, back there by himself, a little rope around him. Come on, man. You don't need the rope. He was just settling up in the bar, just having a cocktail.
Reminds me of when Marshawn Lynch used to parallel park his Lamborghini and then put a velvet rope around it. Didn't matter where he was going. He could have just gone to the convenience store.
He asked for the rope.
And you guys just had a rope a rope for him?
That was one of those like purple, like the El Balago has out there, that purple.
Right, I know what you're talking about.
On stands. We had them laying around. Is that like a rope around here?
It's just the height of hypocrisy when actors and actresses want desperately to be famous and be in the public eye, And then when they get there and they become famous, they don't want anything to do with the public. And how dare you invade my personal space?
Here's what I'll say about that. I listened to Ben Affleck and Matt Damon on Bill Simmons' podcast. They were previewing Air. They were promoting Air, the film that came out a few weeks ago. And they were talking about, like, Bill Simmons said something to the effect of, what's up with celebrities? Like, when they get really famous, they get really weird. Like, celebrities get, like, become stranger.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, when, people, the public or the media make you out to be like this superstar and they're always in your face and paparazzi's everywhere taking pictures and they write stories about your personal life, it's like hard not to act weird. Like, it's so easy to act weird when you're treated so differently. Like, everyone wants you to be like a normal person and like down to earth, but when you're not treated like that, it can be difficult. And that's coming from Ben Affleck, who, like, if you were to rank people in the 21st century who've been like paparazzi, stars, like people who the paparazzi love to take pictures of, Ben Affleck could be right up there with anyone you could name.
It'd be nice if we could somehow outlaw the paparazzi.
It is such a weird
illegal
thing, man.
And who are they taking photos for anymore? I mean, National Enquirer, is that still a big thing?
Page 6, TMZ.
They make good money doing that, though, too.
Do they?
Oh, well, I mean, I watched the Anna Nicole Smith documentary again.
Yeah, I did, too.
I mean, they make bank for each photo they take, so I understand. I mean, I would be so annoyed and hate it, and I think it's a cesspool, but...
Well, when it starts killing people like Princess Di and, when people and when Miley Cyrus was big and she couldn't even come out of her house, they're hounding her parents, same with Lindsay Lohan's parents. I've talked to... I became pretty good friends with her father. And he would
Lindsay
tell
Lohan's father?
Yeah.
When you had time away from Clooney.
Yeah, right.
Well, yeah.
Me, George, and Lohan's father.
I have both him and Dina's phone numbers.
Mhm.
Dina was kind enough to send me a bunch of Lindsay Lohan autograph stuff for Gobble Bowl about 5 years ago. But they start hounding the parents and just go in front of their gated house. And as soon as they come out, they just crowd around and start following them. And I think one time one of them bumped Miley Cyrus's mom, and she went ballistic. She started kicking the photographer, and then he goes, "I'm suing." You just bumped the mom, idiot. So it does get out of control. But still, somebody like Charlton Heston. The funny thing is I asked him if he could sign, because my mom was a big fan. And I picked up the house phone and called my mom. I said, I'm waiting on Charlton Heston. She goes, "Can he sign something for me?" So I asked if he could sign something to my mom. He pulled out a picture from his pocket. And he had these, like, I don't know, there were maybe 3x5s.
Yeah.
He had a stack of them in his pocket. Yeah, what's your mom's name? Jay? And he signed it to her. But if you don't want to get bothered, why are you walking around with a pocket full of pictures?
Well, maybe he just wants to be nice when he can.
Well,
but
being
at
nice
times-
isn't put a rope around me. I don't want people
I'm sure
coming over here.
He was an awfully big star there for a while. And I'm sure
He still was at the
people
time.
like that can't even go to a restaurant without
Yeah, and
people
I'm
constantly
talking
in their face.
Right.
I'm talking early 80s, so we're talking 40 years ago. So he was still a big star.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we got a text here from Ken's Wedding Toast. Jackson's such a shill for everything Hollywood. Wham, famous, wham. It's from Ken's Wedding Toast. I'm not trying to be like excusing any bad behavior or odd behavior from every celebrity. I just thought it was an interesting point from someone who's been in that situation for upwards of 20 years now, that people might look at it one way, but from his perspective or someone's perspective, it can be more difficult than you would imagine. So I'm just bringing up a counterpoint. Critical thinking is what I like to call it, Doug.
Yeah.
Sometimes looking at it the opposite viewpoint, challenging your own opinions. So it's me, Chase Richards, and Lindsay Lohan's dad inside of a bubbly hot tub doing rails off each other's disco sticks.
Oh.
Pop a power bottom.
No, I could see it. I mean, I don't mind signing. I mean,
Station on Friday. Can I come up and meet you?
No.
You're not at the level
I'm not
of
like
Charlton
Francesa.
Heston.
Won't meet his fans. I will.
You were hanging out outside the ball yard yesterday waiting for folks to come up for a signature and picture.
I wasn't waiting. I was just smoking till it went in. But if somebody asked me.
As big a star as you are, you have found the time to generally sign for the public.
I'm not going to poo-poo him away. I'll actually have a conversation with him.
Will you?
But I can see with the paparazzi thing. I mean, and Plowsy was just talking about the Anna Nicole Smith. At the time, she was the biggest female celebrity going when she posed for Playboy and Guess Jeans and all of that. She couldn't come out of a nightclub without 1,000 flash bulbs going on in your face. I mean, can you imagine living your life like that every
it'd be
day?
Tough. It'd be tough.
This is the radio equivalent of being down 30 in the fourth quarter of a high school basketball game and just clearing the bench.
Yep.
Everybody's hoping no one will get hurt, and this won't get any more embarrassing. Ken, of course, is the last guy off the bench. Hugh thinks he should be starting, and will fire up every single shot he can. That's from Arbor Day.
What are you talking about? I mean, clearing the bench. We're all on the show every day.
Damn right.
It's not like Tim took the day off when we brought people in. Bring Iggy in. Tim's gone. I mean, if you listen to the show, do you see me on here every day?
Well, usually, yeah.
We didn't see you for the first hour and a half because you were on camera.
That was on my. I wanted to do that. I wanted to hide. So I mean,
I just think it's nice that as big a star as you are, that you will still sign for people humbly.
I'll sign. Erica wanted me to sign her Iggy for Marriott yesterday. I said I didn't bring a Sharpie.
Yeah.
She goes, "I go find a little kid," and I guess she didn't. I'll gladly sign. I'm in the ballpark enjoying a nice sunny day, and
sure.
You're not bothering me. I'll sign. But
it's not easy for you to go out in public.
Yeah, me and Plowsy were out smoking yesterday. Went out to gate 1 to smoke, and we're underneath the tent. And two guys, do you mind if we come over and talk to you? We're big fans. Me and Plowsy said, "Come on over, sure, join us. We're not going to push you away."
Wow, you're a rock star. It was hot yesterday. I can't lie to you. I was sitting out there in those seats, and I was
after about
cooking.
an inning or two, I was like, "Geez."
Come on, it was a wonderful summer day.
No, it was beautiful.
It was great. I'll take it over the cold every day of the week, but it was hot.
I only went out to smoke like every inning because I got to go get in the shade. It's just brutal.
Did your thighs burn, Jackson?
Not too badly. I think maybe the back of my neck gets always the worst. That's where I always get super sunburned.
Have you tried sunblock?
Yeah, I didn't bring any yesterday, which is on me. It's dumb. Should always have it on me, especially someone with my complexion.
Yeah.
But I didn't, and so I think probably the back of my neck. But every time I golf, that skin kind of gets.
Do they sell sunblock at Busch Stadium? That'd probably be a good item to have there.
There's a lot of moms there with the kids. You could have borrowed the moms. I saw moms putting it on their kids all over.
So just go up to a random mother and say,
"Can I borrow your sunscreen?"
Hey, I know I'm an adult male, but can I use some of your child's sunscreen?
Can I borrow your sunscreen?
You're not borrowing it. You're taking it because you're not going to give it back.
It's a doubtful.
I did some of those. Probably the first time I ever did this yesterday. But I had an open pack of cigarettes at home. I was leaving to come to the ballpark. They had like 8 cigarettes in it. So I said, "It's going to be a long day. I'll bring a new pack." Well, as I left, I grabbed the wrong pack and I had 8 cigarettes.
Oh, so
it's okay. I just got a ration. But it got to the point I had like 2 left. It was like the 5th inning. I said, I'll probably need 1 for the way home.
Well, you can't smoke in Busch Stadium.
No, outside Busch Stadium.
You leave every time?
Well, it was like one gate away from where we were.
Right by home plate, right?
Yeah, gate 1. So I borrowed one from Clayton. I borrowed one of Clayton Patterson's cigarettes.
Couldn't get through it with just 8.
Well, that's not bad. 8 cigarettes in like 12 hours.
That's pretty bad.
Was that a menthol? Do you have a menthol for you?
He did, but it was a gross menthol. I think it was a Pall Mall menthol.
Oh, there goes a Pall Mall advertising. How about the guy with 6 glizzies for his family in the TMA section? It's from the 3 and 4. Someone have 6 hot dogs?
Yeah,
I got a picture of him.
Yeah, that was more than 6, I thought. It looked like 8. The guy was handing them out to his kids and family. Oh, it was.
I was taking a picture of everybody with their food. So I sat down, I took a picture of a guy with his nachos.
Saw that, yeah.
Let me find that. I gotta find that hot dog. But there's like a bunch of weenies sticking out.
There are sunblock stations all over the ball yard. They look like a hand sanitizer pump dispenser. #SunSense. It's from Hammer and Hank.
I've not seen that. That makes sense. Yeah.
Just hand them out.
Oh, wow, yeah. Those are jumbos, too.
Just handing them out.
Those aren't small dogs.
Oh, they're ridiculous.
I've not seen the sunblock stations.
What is this
You
shirt?
can use that. It's
Yeah,
nice to know it's
absolutely.
there.
Yeah, it's really nice.
You know what his shirt says? Can you read that?
No, I cannot.
It looks like some kind of German.
I don't speak German, so.
Vandavia Vasa Unsabara.
Jackson,
That didn't sound German to me.
No, that sounded like gibberish.
Well, my accent wasn't German, but it looks German.
Gross mother.
That hot dog's bigger than that girl.
Now, Grossmother was German, wasn't she?
Yes.
And you shot her in the side of the neck or back of the neck or any part of the neck you could
Right
get.
in the front, Doug, right?
Usually in the neck. Oh, I see 2.
Usually in the neck.
2 emails.
You couldn't aim for a leg?
2 emails from Dennis Shard. Look, I haven't looked at them yet. It says Dennis Shard's Upholstery. I guarantee I open them up. They're both about me.
Well, if they're sent to you, I would assume they'd be about you.
No, they're to everybody. It says to Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, +2. So great not to see pockets. And
how'd that feel?
That's the other one.
Pockets. It's a nickname that just stuck.
Right.
I hung out with Clooney. Ha 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 ha. Well, I did. You got.
Okay, you're mad. You're mad now. That was
No,
good.
it's just. I see that name, and it's just he's got nothing else to do but send in crap about me. And we don't read them, so that should tell you something, buddy.
Jackson, I would love to slap sack on the back of that neck, boy. Bing bong. That's from 636. So, do you think I should take him up on that offer? I don't know.
Well, it's free sunscreen. Can I ask a question to the dais or anybody listening who may know this?
Okay.
Is there a bakery on Olive in Creve Coeur anywhere close to here?
Breadco?
I don't know.
No, I mean
get
a
out your
place
Google Maps and
place
type in
that'll-
bakery, and it'll tell you.
Places that'll sell me that sell loaves of bread, fresh bread.
Breadco will sell you a fresh loaf of bread.
Will they?
Absolutely.
$150.
Yeah.
It's not cheap, but they have loaves of bread there.
La Bon Boucher.
Well, Bon Boucher is good. They
How
make
far
good
is that from
cakes.
here?
Not very.
Why do you need a loaf of bread?
I don't have any bread, and I don't know what's going on with. Maybe they're going to blame supply lines still, but every loaf of bread I get is stale.
You can't go into Schnucks?
I go to Schnucks. It's one day, and it's hard as rock.
Oh.
The ends of it, I have to cut off like a little kid cutting the crust off because it's hard. It's not soft. It's like you can tell that it's starting to go stale. It's hard. I can't get a fresh loaf of bread anywhere. I don't know what it is.
Really?
And you're tired of it.
So I'm looking for a bakery because I wanted to make a nice sandwich last night. I said, oh, look at this bread.
Well, how
I
do you
had it
know
for
their-
one day.
How do you know their bread's going to be any better?
Well, because they're making it fresh every day.
What do you think?
I'm sure Schnucks isn't making their own bunny bread.
That's what I said.
Wonder bread.
Bunny bread.
No matter what I buy, the only one that's fresh is Pepperidge Farms. It's like $8 a loaf.
Well, I mean, if you're going to get a fresh loaf of bread, it's probably going to be in the 8.
No, that place in Kirkwood I used to go to on the way home to get bread. It was like $3.95 for a loaf of bread. And it was fresh. They'd say, okay, came out at 10 o'clock. It'll be ready when you get here. It's still soft. It's still warm.
Huh.
Hey, Papa, get out that jitterbug phone. Look up bakery on Google, you oversized Oompa Loompa. Lance
Well, I'm
Fader.
asking because, I mean, I'm not familiar with how far Olive down. I may say 1334 Olive. That could be 100 blocks down Olive. I don't know.
It'll tell you on your Google Maps how far away it is.
Will it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, it will.
Okay, then I'll Google it. Sorry, I asked the question.
No, no,
Not to you, to listeners. They
We're
wanna
workshopping
bitch,
this.
okay.
Here we
If you're
go.
at a restaurant or a gas station or something like that, it'll tell you how far away they are.
He said, we got a text here. Tell Iggy to come into Grassi's and I'll get him a French loaf. That's from Dimitri Sokolatu.
Now, is that real?
I
don't know a suku sokolato that works at
I would just go in there and ask for
Grassi's.
Dimitri and then ask for the Doug Vaughn sandwich.
Well, that's not quite Olive. That's
I did
Lindbergh,
that.
way down there.
That's close to the station.
Grassi's?
Yeah, 5 minutes.
No, it's not.
You take Olive for a half a mile and then turn around Lindbergh.
Well, but that's way down Lindbergh.
No,
Not that far.
it's in between
It's down
Olive
by-
and 64.
It's down by Country Day.
Country Day's on Warson.
It'll take you 8 minutes. Typically, you get to drive.
I'll come down. Just maybe a couple of meatball sandwiches and a loaf of bread. I'll be done.
Maybe
you
some
want this
little
free
roast
too,
beef
right?
too.
I'll walk in there. I mean,
Oh,
I know the guys that work there. I don't know a Sokolatu that works there.
Well, you just asked for him.
A Sokolatu here? No, they'll know me when I walk in.
Right, of course.
Mr.
This is
Sokolatu.
Clooney's buddy.
And
I've
you're
had-
wanting this bread free, right?
No, I'll pay for it. I'm just
will?
looking for fresh bread.
So it's not the price that you're worried about. It's the quality.
Yeah, it's the freshness. I made hot dogs the other night. I'm gonna make a couple hot dogs.
Ooh,
Put it on the
sounds
bread.
good
The
to
bread
me.
wouldn't even fold.
You don't want buns?
I folded it and it broke in half.
You're gonna put hot dogs on white bread?
Yeah. Well, what I usually do is I cut them in halves and then I lay them on the bread so I make a nice sandwich out of it.
A little mustard?
Mustard. That's
If you're,
all.
if you're cooking hot dogs for dinner, I don't think you can be too persnickety about the bread.
What do you mean?
Hot dogs are terrible for you.
Oscar Mayer hot dog.
All beef?
Yes.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah, really good.
Oh,
All
yeah, it's
beef,
really
yeah.
great for you.
It's good.
Yeah.
An all beef dog.
Any dietitian would tell you, you got to have more hot dogs in your diet.
Well, look. I mean, not everything I eat is good for me. I don't eat chicken 90 times a week.
Doug, what's your favorite cased meat?
Cased meat?
Yeah.
What qualifies as a cased meat?
Like hot dogs,
Like-
bratwurst, like the sausage, like meat in a casing.
Kielbasa.
Yeah, kielbasa.
I guess if I had to,
Polish?
I'll have a bratwurst every now and then.
I like a bratwurst too.
And what's the difference between that and a hot dog?
Not much, but only if I'm desperate. Like in the middle of a golf course or something, I'm dying, then I'll have a bratwurst.
Like
You don't go to
stadium.
a restaurant and order a hot dog?
Gosh, no.
Johnson
Never in my
Two
hot
life
dogs.
have I gone to a restaurant and ordered a hot dog.
Johnson Stadium brats are good. Johnsonville Stadium, Brunswick.
Do restaurants even have hot dogs?
Sportsman's P, I know, has a hot dog. It's like a gourmet hot dog.
Go to Carl's.
There's no such thing as a gourmet. They're just dressing up the wordage.
You ever had a Hebrew National, buddy?
Yes, I have.
Fantastic.
That's a gourmet hot dog.
It's just a hot dog.
If it's all beef,
made of
it's
all
not
the
bad.
leftover entrails.
Not a
beets and
Hebrew National.
sphincters.
They won't let you do that.
That's correct.
It's against religion to do that. It's got to be meat.
If it's a kosher dog, it's got to be all beef. You can't
Good
have
hot
pork
dog
in-
make you fat.
Yeah, it will. It will.
You ever had the hot dog at Carl's?
No, I've never gone to a restaurant and ordered a hot dog.
Their buns are steamed.
Ooh,
So they come out, they're nice and soft. They put that foot-long dog where half the dog is sticking out the side, just
I
whopping
don't like
a
that.
weenie.
I don't like
want
that.
it. I don't want it.
A little relish, a little mustard. Oh, a lot of onions.
I couldn't go to Carl's and not get a burger.
That's why, I've never had the.
But I've gone and got the double cheese and a hot dog.
That's a baby.
I can't go to Carl's because it's always too crowded. Nobody goes there anymore. It's too busy.
You got to go at a good time. Not
Nobody goes there anymore. It's too busy.
That was Yogi Berra's line.
Oh, that's right.
No one goes there. It's too crowded.
That's a good line.
Depending on when you go, you can get a stool in there.
It is a whole thing. But if you can get a seat, it is a fantastic
Where
time.
did you go?
We were talking about yesterday. It was hot, but it was nice. Prefer the heat.
Mm-hmm.
We got this Stroadcast presented by Paramount Men's Medical Center. It's brought to you by Paramount Men's Medical Center. Got ED or P. Enhance your performance in the bedroom and see instant results on your first office visit. Call 314-720-8210. Iggs today, St. Louis, Missouri. What's the Stroadcast looking like?
Today a little warm. Today 90. It's going to be mostly sunny. It's going to be good except for the weekend. The weekend, I checked this morning with the Doppler, and it spit out a little bit of showers maybe Saturday and Sunday. So if you got any plans this weekend, probably Saturday, less chance than Sunday. Sunday, a pretty good chance it's going to rain. But I'll just be inside watching the U.S. Open anyway.
Yeah, I'm actually not opposed to a little Sunday rain.
Yeah, and next week we're in the 80s.
In the 80s?
I see maybe one day, maybe Wednesday, we may hit 90, but the rest of next week is going to be in the 80s, so it's going to be kind of nice.
Absolutely. Yeah, Sunday, U.S. Open, a little rain. It's a good, recovery day. I'd be fine. If it rained one day a week, it would be Sunday every week. That'd be fine by me.
I want it to rain at night, not during the day.
Ideally,
I'm
yeah.
with you too, bud.
Yeah.
The nighttime rain.
I don't
is
ever want
more.
rain during the day.
Saturday night into Sunday morning would be a perfect time for rain.
That's why I have my white noise machine. I have it set to rainfall. Just sounds like rain pattering on the window when I go to bed.
Oh, really?
So nice.
My white noise is that damn CPAP machine.
That's kind of what my white noise sounds
Puts
like.
me right to sleep.
You like it? But you're an Olympic caliber sleeper, right?
I always have been, and now, I'm out in seconds.
I was sleeping like a
And it
baby
looks so
last
hot.
night.
Yeah.
I was sleeping like a baby last night, and I had a dream that kind of disturbed me. Because I'm a very nice person. I love everybody I work with here.
How about Joe?
I get along. That works here.
Well, he worked with us for a long time.
I'm saying Hubbard works here.
Okay.
I never got along with him. I work with him. He's a dick.
well, so much for the nice guy.
Well, to people that are nice to me, but he's not a nice person, so it's easy to be mean to him, or just I'm not mean to him. I just don't like him.
Yeah.
But I love everybody here. So it kind of annoys me when I have a dream about two people I work with, and one of them I wasn't eye to eye with. And a lot of people I'm going to talk about don't know who she is. But if you listen to Kay Shee now in the mornings, Jen Williams, who has worked with us on the TMA Street team. She was there for our trivia night last year. But she is now part of Kay Shee in the morning since U-Man has semi-retired. And I had a dream where I walked into the office and it was dark. And I said, oh, it's dark in here. I can make out Learn, but who's this person sitting in my chair?
901, the first Learn reference.
And she goes, it's not your chair, it's mine. This is for people that actually work. And it was Jen.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, really, who are you to talk to me like that? And
Yeah, talk to
so
me.
I kind of got into
Bless
it, Jen, but I love Jen to death. Jen is a great person. She is fun. And
She was rude to you last night.
we were kind of rude to each other in this dream where she said this for people that work. And I said, who are you to talk to me like that?
Are you going to apologize?
So it was I may have to apologize just for this dream.
And that was the end of the dream?
Then I went to somebody else's desk and I was like rifling through, acting like I was working. which I used to do at the Woman. I would
Life imitates art.
At the Woman, I would sit at my desk and act like I was working when I was actually done for the day.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird dream because I don't normally have bad dreams about people that I like. It wasn't a bad dream, but it's just weird. I was kind of mean and she was kind of mean, and that's not who we are. We both like each other, but it's kind of a weird dream.
Yeah, certainly. It's Father's Day on Sunday, you moron, nobody wants rain. It's from Neil Allen Craig. I forgot, yeah.
Yeah,
Sunday
I don't think
is
anyone wants rain on Sunday.
On Father's Day. What are your Father's Day plans, Doug? Gather the family?
I don't think anything.
Feats of strength?
At the moment. Yeah, I'll probably get together.
Yeah, we'll barbecue.
Finally got my grill from Lowe's.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
Now you're literally cooking with gas.
Yeah, I'm very apologetic. The GM of the store I didn't raise a stink or anything there at the store. I never said anything, but I guess they knew that 3 weeks is a little too long. So they included a free grill cover and barbecue tools.
Nice.
And a $100 wine voucher.
Look at you.
Yeah, they
You're walking in tall cotton now. What's going to be the first meat you cook on there? Pork steak? Pork steak.
Pork steak would be a nice way to break it in.
A couple of hot dogs.
Yeah.
Put them on the top rack.
I always worry about with hot dogs on the grill that they're going to fall through the grates.
I put them on the top rack.
You got to put them perpendicular.
Yes. Horizontally away from the grates.
Yeah, you got to put them perpendicular. I'm just always nervous about that because they can roll.
Well, sure they can.
Just like Ryan Kelly can roll you right into a nice new mortgage.
He rolls, but he's not a hot dog in any way.
No.
He wouldn't like to be known as a hot dog who rolls down into the grate.
No.
What he is an all-star mortgage lender who will take care of you in many different ways. Any kind of mortgage issue you may have, whether you're looking for an original mortgage, you're going to buy a house now. Ryan always says, you marry the house, you only date the rate. Rates are pretty high now, but they have been coming down a little bit. You need to act quickly. Homes will start selling quickly when they hit the market. If you're waiting, if you've got questions, call the home loan expert. Ryan Kelly and his team will take great care of you. He can also take care of you if you're a veteran. He's got that Hero Loan. The website is HeroLoan.com. You can buy a house for $0 down using your VA benefits. Ryan Kelly loves to take care of the veterans, as he has done so many times before. If you're a veteran, check out that Hero Loan at Ryan Kelly, the home loan expert. Or if you're just looking to get out of credit card debt, the average credit card interest rate right now, over 24%, highest it's been in more than 30 years. With inflation, people carrying more debt than ever. Put your equity to work for you with a simple cash-out refi. The average home loan expert client receives more than $54,000 cash out on your refi. Hopefully that's enough to get that credit card debt wiped away and maybe pay off some other bills, maybe just do something fun with it, go on a vacation, whatever. Ryan Kelly is there to help you with whatever you might need. His website, thehomeloanexpert.com.
That's Ryan Kelly, title sponsor now for over a decade. This Make It Stop. This is worse than the Mandy Patinkin makeout sesh dream or holding hands with Adam Scott dream. Time to send Ken out to the fountain with a loaf of stale thrift store white bread for the rest of the show to feed pigeons. That's from Carlos Spicy Wiener. He was there yesterday. He was at the ball yard yesterday.
Yes, I saw him.
There are a lot of people there that posted pictures that I didn't see. Tommy, our boss, Tommy Matter, was there.
Was he?
Yeah.
I didn't see him.
I didn't see him either. I did see Carlos Spicy Wiener, who noted, and he texted in this earlier, about 8:30, he texted, this call sucks worse in reference to Mr. Licks. Then Jackson retreating to the shade after 4 innings, then later turning down cash to dance among pretty girls for a few minutes. This guy needs to focus less on calling in and more on understanding his father-in-law saying the credit cards for emergencies only.
Oh.
It's from Carlos Spicy Wiener. Yeah, I did have to. My brother and sister-in-law were sitting in the shaded part of our section.
Really?
And so when I got too hot, I hung out with him and her and avoided the heat.
You got too hot, did you?
Yeah, and the sun's out, and
Tough it up a little bit. You're at a baseball game in June. It's going to be a little warm.
But how long did you stay, Doug?
I stayed for about 5 or 6 innings.
Yeah. And then you got hot and left.
Well, I had to pick up a kid at work.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, it was certainly warm, but like I said, I'll take that. But it's just sitting there. That's the problem. If I was when you're playing golf, you're moving around, you just kind of feel different. But there was a nice little breeze coming in there.
That
Doug.
right field area at Busch can be tough. It's a tough sun field. Especially
afternoon.
early evening hours is especially rough.
Yeah, it's really bright right there because the sun westward. We established yesterday, Pollock, that the sun
Sets in the
south.
south. Yeah,
That's a matter of opinion.
lays down in the south. I think that's,
It goes down the south and sets in the
That's why
north.
it's so warm in the south, probably.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
That's right. It's obvious math.
It stands to reason.
And you need math, Doug.
Yeah.
Yeah, time zones and sun setting. That's kind of our bailiwick.
Let me give you a little LA Country Club update here.
Ooh,
from the
US Open update.
There were 6 people on the course. Hank Libiota, +2 through 1. He double bogeyed that first hole, Doug.
Sounds like one of those guys that Doug used to get on his team.
And you can tell all the good players tee off early. All the good players have a 6:45 tee time.
They don't want it because of the marine layer.
Libiota, +2. Nagano, even through 1. Jermahuizi is even through 1.
That was a sound. That wasn't a name. That was a sound you made.
Jermahuizi's. He's even through 1. The guy that you didn't want to pick, Doug, you threw him away. Henson is even through 1.
Barry Henson, the former basketball
Barry
coach.
Henson, even through
played one hole.
What is he? 4 over?
No, he's even through 1.
Oh, now we're cooking.
Jeremy Solomon even through 1, and then your leader in the clubhouse, Omar Morales, -1 through 1.
And I think that will hold until Sunday on the 72nd hole.
He's almost home now.
Yeah.
And next to tee off is
spending that money already.
W.Y. Ding.
That's a great name.
And Jay Smith.
W.Y. Ding.
And Jay Smith?
I don't know, Jeff Smith, John Smith, Judy Smith. This is Jay Smith.
Probably not Judy.
Jordan.
Jordan Smith.
W.Y. Ding.
Didn't the Rams draft, was it Jason Smith? Was that the name?
That's to me one of the worst.
And he was offensive tackle. He got hurt.
Second overall pick.
Got really hurt. Him and Greg Robinson were tough picks for the old St. Louis
Two
Rams.
top fivers, and they
Right.
Well, they had Tavon Austin later, so that was.
Let's run him up the middle.
Yeah.
He's the smallest guy on the field. Let's make him a between the tackles running back.
The 2 plays we'll run for Tavon Austin will be HB dive. If you played bad, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Run right up the gut, or we'll run them on a vertical route where he's the shortest guy by far, and we'll have to throw a rainbow pass in with Kellen Clemens or whoever was.
Yeah, we have a quarterback that
like
like the dink and dime, and we got our top 5, top 10 draft pick just running 50 yards downfield, completely covered.
Is he still playing?
Tavon?
Yeah.
He was with the Jaguars, I want to say, a year or 2 ago. He's been with the Cowboys since. He's never really found his foothold in the NFL.
Probably made $40 million.
Still probably making $6 million a year.
Yeah, he probably did pretty well for himself. But again, just the world's greatest college highlight reel. The Kid Ink song under it. It's if you grew up in my generation, you watched that Tavon Austin highlight tape 10 times at least.
It's hard to beat a Barry Sanders highlight reel.
Yeah.
Or Gale Sayers, ever see that? Or O.J. Simpson, you ever see O.J. Simpson in his prime?
Like college O.J.
Earl Campbell was fun to watch, too. He'd just barrel over people, and there'd be 8 people around him. He'd just barrel through, and he'd come right out of it, bump to the right, and just down the sidelines.
KMOV had a special on Barry Henson this morning. He is an Uber driver in Los Angeles. Yeah, I read that. He's like a part-time Uber driver.
That's
Yeah.
true?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The basketball coach?
The Barry Henson who's going to be playing in the U.S.
player, oh.
This Barry
I
spells
didn't
it
think
like...
the basketball coach would need that at this point in his life.
or was somehow qualifying for the U.S. Open.
Yeah, but he was such a fun guy. For all I know, the Barry Henson basketball coach thinks it's a good time to Uber drive and talk to people and crack jokes.
How about Chris Givens, Doug? It's from Maxwell Hung.
Goose Givens?
Chris Givens, if you remember, he wore number 13. He had 6 straight games where he caught a Hail Mary touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
It was like Sam Bradford's prime. It was him and Chris Givens. And before that, Denario Alexander, Missouri standout. And that leads us into our break and our next segment, Doug. The 2024 schedule has come out for the Tigers. We know who they're playing. We'll
2024.
We'll do a little guessing game coming up on the other side of the break because I know how much you enjoy a nice little guessing game.
I
What's
do
that, football?
Yeah, football. Yeah.
I thought it already came out.
That's for 2023. We're talking 2024.
Okay.
Don't they know their schedule for 10 years out?
Yeah, but there's some new teams joining the SEC in 2024.
Oh, that's right.
North Dakota A&M on there?
So, what?
North Dakota A&M make the grade?
Well, we'll find out coming up on the other side of the break. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning After Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
I'm Tim McKernan here with Action Jackson talking to you about Mark Hanna. TMA listeners have a lot to think through financially, whether it be saving up for their child's education or planning for their own retirement and everything in between.
Whether you're like me and just getting started with your financial planning or you're already retired, call Mark Hanna.
It all starts with a 15-minute phone call to discuss your needs and design the right strategy for you and your future.
Visit evergreenstl.com or give Mark a call at 314-889-0503 today. Mark Hanna offers securities through Equitable Advisors and insurance and annuity products through Equitable Network, LLC.
Driving the ball 300 yards is cool and impresses your buddies, but scoring amounts to getting the ball in the hole. Thus, the best way to lower your scores is to improve your short game. If you want a golf green that putts true and gives you real grass performance when practicing chips, pitches, and bunker shots, the only company to call is Clubhouse Turf, St. Louis's exclusive partner of Celebrity Greens. Each Clubhouse Turf signature green is unique in design and can create your own backyard golf experience that your family and friends will enjoy for years to come. Call Clubhouse Turf today at 314-802-6229 or visit them online at clubhouseturf.com.
Hello, it's Jackson for Rosalitas. TMA listeners know that Rosalitas Cantina has the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From tableside guac to piled high nachos, the amazing menu at Rosalitas is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita, and Rosalitas has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6, and let Rosalitas cater your next event. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalitas.
Okay. Hot takes.
Yeah.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
And now the Pepperoncini Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Strode. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open.
Pepperoncini.
Pepperoncini.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at tmastl.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever. Hey, if you like the morning after, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's sports talk with Tim McKernan and Action Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday, right after the morning after. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good, so check it out on 101 ESPN or get the podcast on the TMA app.
The Midwest Drag Racing Series Night of Fire and Thunder at Worldwide Technology Raceway, Saturday, July 1st. Bring out the whole family and check out jet cars, dragsters, ground-pounding pro mods, live music, and fireworks. Tickets start at just $30, and kids 12 and under are free. Don't miss it. Race cars, fireworks, and more at WWT Raceway, Saturday, July 1st. Get your tickets and all the details at WWTRaceway.com.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with a great TMA sponsor, and that is Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm. And you may hear a bunch of out-of-state law firms advertising here and there all over on billboards and so on and so forth. But the thing is, oftentimes their goal is to just settle and move on, and that's not what you guys do.
Yeah, this is CD Longo, and you hear us talking a lot about maximizing the value of cases, but what does that actually mean? Well, as Tim said, there's lots of personal injury lawyers in St. Louis, and everyone handles cases differently. We focus on getting the highest dollar amount for your injuries, not just getting a resolution quickly. We're constantly tracking all the settlements and verdicts in the area. This helps us advise our clients on whether a settlement offer is too low. And if the amount of compensation being offered is too low, we are happy to file lawsuits and proceed to trial to ensure our clients receive an amount that is fair. Visit our website or Google us at Longo Biggs Injury Law.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisement.
When we think of a real estate agent, we think of somebody simply selling our home or finding us a new one. I mean, they're all the same, right?
Okay, here's the comps. We'll take some pics, we'll post them, and I'll get back to you, okay?
A home is life-changing, and your real estate agent should reflect that. Honesty, integrity, and someone who will go above and beyond to make your dreams come true.
The Jeff Lotman Group with Compass Realty. We're different because you're different. We want what you want. Experience the difference today at jefflotman.com, bringing people and properties together.
Men, are you suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE? The medical providers at Paramount Men's Medical Center offer breakthrough treatments that eliminate problems in the bedroom without pain or surgery. 98% of men see instant results on their first office visit. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Paramount Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Men are even lasting 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
But that's not all. For a limited time only, call Paramount Men's Medical Center now and your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. You'll see instant results right in the office. You'll even get a gift that enhances your performance in the bedroom. All this, worth hundreds of dollars, is free if you call now. 314-720-8210. 314-720-8210. That's 314-720-8210.
This Sunday is Father's Day, and this year, honor the father in your life by capturing their life story in their own voice, in a tribute that will last forever. It's all made possible with Sound Story, and you get a Father's Day gift certificate for a Sound Story by using promo code TMA at mysoundstory.com. Imagine learning about their childhood, their education, their career, their values, and their life lessons. Imagine always having their voice, their laughs, their emotions to listen to anytime today or years from now. At Sound Story, we host an hour-long interview with your family members with the goal of creating an audio heirloom that can be passed down for generations to come. And the price points start as low as $250. Simply visit mysoundstory.com to schedule your interview and choose the interviewer and the price that fits your family best. And remember, use the promo code TMA for 20% off at mysoundstory.com.
Hey, you like jet cars, dragsters, pro mods, and fireworks? Well, guess what? You can see jet cars, dragsters, pro mods, and fireworks for free in a night of fire and thunder, Saturday, July 1st at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Brought to you by Travers Automotive and RV. And you can get 4 tickets for free on the TMA app or at TMASTL.com. And if you don't win, buy your tickets starting at just $30 for adults. Plus, kids 12 and under are free. Find out more now at TMASTL.com. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
I spent 4 years in San Francisco.
The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPNT-FM HD2,
Collinsville, St. Louis.
Firecrackers bursting, fireworks going off tonight. You and I are standing here watching the lights, surrounded by people gazing at the night sky. Alright.
Oh, yeah.
There's friends and family and people you don't know. They're all lined up to see the big show. All that matters is what's up in the sky. Alright. Switch it up on you guys. Add a little breakdown in here. There's firecrackers shooting in the sky, a bottle rockets on the 4th of July. Roman candle wars in my backyard. Run for me and you won't get too far. Sparklers, screamers, and streamers. Cherry bombs, smoke bombs with your moms. Kids playing with the poppers in the street. Burning them snakes all over.
4th of July, Doug.
Sounds like a landslide.
Welcome back to the Ryan Kelly Morning After. Michelob Ultra Studios here in the 9 o'clock hour. Doug, what's your favorite summer holidays? Memorial Day? Is it Father's Day, 4th of July, Flag Day?
I guess it would be Memorial Day, just because it means that there's a lot more summer still to come.
I would agree. Yeah.
When 4th of July hits, I kind of feel like, we've kind of hit the top, and now it's
now we're on our descent.
Sliding the wrong way.
We're on our descent into the colder months. But yeah, I agree. I think Memorial Day is elite because it's like in the mid 70s as opposed to the mid 80s or 90s as it is the 4th of July. I would tend to agree. Text on in to the Ryan Kelly Morning After, the Engineered Design Facilities text inbox, the EDF Group text inbox, 314-881-TMA5. You can call in 636-904-TMA. You can talk it over with KG in O-Town. Tim is out for the remainder of today's show, and he will be out tomorrow's show. We'll be back full squad on Monday. If you like listening to Balloon Party on 101 ESPN, Randy, Carey, and Brooke, along with Matt Rocchio, will be handling the extra hour, so you tune into them.
I'd have had the next 2 days off if Tim would ask me to play.
But he didn't. He wanted a better partner.
Don't blame them.
So now you have to come into work, and was that no good?
Oh, no. I love coming to work.
But you're a bit crestfallen that you're not out on the course today?
No. I love to play. Yeah. I love hanging out with Tim, playing golf for 2 days at Westboro. It's fun. Yeah. Go to the parties afterwards, go to Calcutta, have some nice dinner.
But the phone didn't ring this year, did it?
The phone didn't ring. That means I'm not there.
Yeah.
You got to play golf.
Or Jimmy Buffett song, "If the phone didn't ring, it's me." Doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's a great song.
I don't think I heard that one.
If the phone doesn't ring, it's me.
You got to play golf anyway this weekend?
He's not calling you.
Yeah, doesn't make any sense, but that's a Jimmy Buffett song.
You got to play golf at all this weekend, Eggs?
Probably not. I'm just going to watch the U.S. Open.
Yeah,
I'm really looking forward to LA Country Club watching that.
Yeah, of course we almost basically never ever see.
It's never been a U.S. Open there.
Yeah, so
and, there used to be a tournament there back in the early days of the PGA, back in the 40s and 50s. I think it was called the LA Open. They played at the LA Country Club.
And then they moved the LA Open to Riviera, right?
Yeah, but it's wasn't the same anyway. It's all redesigned.
Screw you, Jackson. Flag Day is the best summer holiday. It's from the total package.
It's not even a holiday.
It was yesterday, so.
That's when baseball season starts, according to Claiborne. Claiborne would always say, "I don't pay attention to Flag Day."
Cardinals really put themselves behind the 8 ball then.
Yeah. 0-1.
First day of Flag Day.
0-1.
Sometimes I watch on Claibs Online, Joe Roderick and Bob Ramsey do like a Cardinal preview show, and then they'll do a Cardinal recap show after the game. I love seeing Ramsey just... Joe Rod can't say anything about Ramsey, just questioning him. Well, I mean, Trey DeYoung. Huh, okay. Who's going to take him? Well, I mean, somebody's got to need maybe off the bench. He goes, "That's it. Our bench. Nobody wants them. Who are you going to bring up?" And he just, and then Joe Rod didn't want to say, "Well, I mean, we can, maybe somebody down AA. Hey, we got a guy that's never going to make it to the majors. We'll take him for DeYoung." Good. Who's going to take him? Nobody wants him. Who's going to take that salary? Well, I don't know. Is this next? He just, he gets so flustered.
Rammer. Well, Doug, Missouri's 2024 SEC conference schedule is set. The SEC released the Tigers' opponents for their 8 conference games on Wednesday. Dates and times for these games will be released later this year.
Okay.
The SEC previously announced the elimination of divisions starting in 2024.
The elimination of divisions.
The SEC championship game will be between the 2 teams with the best conference records at the end of the season.
Huh.
I think we can all get on board with that.
That's a big switch.
Yeah.
So there'll be just one 16-team division?
That is what I'm reading. The SEC.
So you can finish in 16th place.
Yeah, theoretically. I mean, you could always kind of finish in 16th place. It would just be called 8th.
So Missouri has no shot to ever getting to an SEC championship.
I wouldn't say that at all.
Really?
No, I wouldn't say that at all.
I mean, LSU and Alabama have down years, and they're still going to be much better than Mizzou.
Well, right now you got Alabama, Georgia, Texas, and Oklahoma. Just right off the
Yeah, but you
top.
play Georgia every year anyways, and the last, Mizzou has beaten LSU before, so it's not,
Yeah, they've beaten LSU, but
and Tennessee is on
those other teams.
Well, you're not going to play Alabama every year just because they've gotten rid of divisions. It's just, you could play Alabama when they still had divisions. You could still play Alabama.
Yeah, but you got to finish in the top 2 of the 16.
The 2 teams with the best conference records at the end of the season will play for the SEC championship.
Yeah. Well, that's reasonable.
No.
I just think for Missouri, it doesn't seem that they have much of a shot.
Probably not the most favorable, but
no.
If you're going to make it to the SEC championship, you got to be really good anyways, because you have to go through Georgia.
So they're going to play 8 league games?
Yeah, 8 conference games. They were toying with the idea of possibly playing 9, but they did not end up doing that. Headline, you know what? We're going to do a little guessing game. Okay. I think that's more fun. So,
but you're probably going to have to win 7 of the 8 to have any kind of shot to get in that championship.
I would agree.
Because the Georgia or Alabama will run the table almost every year.
Would agree, absolutely. All right, Doug.
Plus they have to play each other.
Well, oftentimes they won't.
Yeah, it's true. If there's, 8, there will be times where they will.
There's going to be 15 other teams besides yourself, and you're only going to play 8 of them. Yeah, so almost every other year you won't play them.
So how do you pick who's playing who each year?
It rotates. Everyone eventually plays everybody.
We're still going to play Arkansas every year? Isn't that supposed to be our border rival game?
They're going to pull it out of a Lancome box.
No, God, they might as well.
That's what I do. Alabama's playing Vanderbilt, Alabama. Oh, they're playing Vanderbilt again.
I don't think I like the idea of one big giant conference. I kind of like the divisions, just so you kind of built a rivalry with teams that you play every year.
Well, as long as you got SEMO and Merrimack on that schedule every year for Mizzou, they're going to...
Merrimack doesn't field a squad.
Nor they do. If they would, I don't think they'd be Division One.
They would for Mizzou.
Rivalries are over anyways, and that's fine. But you don't have players that are playing there for 3 or 4 years that have gone up each other against 6 or 8 times. You got transfers coming in and out.
I think they still have rivalries. You want to Ohio State and Michigan's not still a rivalry?
The traditional ones like that, but I think the force-fed ones like
Mizzou, Arkansas,
I don't think hold a lot of weight. Maybe for players, maybe for a certain fan base. I just don't. Usually rivalries mean, these players have played for several years against each other, and now there are new teams being aligned in every conference. I wouldn't care about that. I think always the 2 best teams should always play in every league. I think the NBA should be doing that. The top 16 teams make it regardless of conference.
Same with the NHL.
It's a joke, yeah. Like, look what the XFL did. They let a team under 500 get in the playoffs when St. Louis had a better record and didn't. You see those all the time. That's just dumb.
Yeah, I do agree.
Always the 2 best teams should be facing each other.
All right, are you okay with divisions in Major League Baseball?
No, I don't. It makes no sense. And again, though baseball has actual rivalries, and professional sports most of the time do. I just don't really care.
Well, it makes
backdoor
sense.
your way into the playoffs when people with teams with 10, 12, 15 games better than you are sitting on the sidelines. No, I'm not.
Well, it's all money. I mean, back in the days when 64, 67, 68, the Cardinals were in the World Series, they won the division, went straight to the World Series. They won the National League. There were no divisions. They won the pennant. They're straight into World Series. But now, when you have TV contracts, you're going to break it down to play as many games as possible.
And there's also a lot more teams.
It's true. That is true. All right, Doug, the 4 SEC teams who will be coming to Columbia in 2024.
I've got to guess them?
Yeah.
2024. How about Arkansas?
Arkansas is coming to Missouri.
All right. How about Kentucky?
No.
No.
South Carolina.
How about
no.
Tennessee?
No.
Alabama.
How about Oklahoma?
No. LSU.
Can I have an initial?
Oklahoma is coming back to Columbia. Doug, do you remember the last time Oklahoma came to Columbia?
Was it that time that on national TV when
they were ranked number one and Missouri beat them 36-27? That was the last time the Sooners made the trip to Columbia. Will they suffer the same fate in 2024?
I don't know.
Wait and find out. Yeah. All right, you got 2 teams. We need 2 more. Here's a hint.
Texas.
One of the schools starts with an A.
Auburn.
Bingo.
Oh.
The other school is traditionally in the basement of the SEC.
Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt.
Oh.
So Arkansas, Auburn, Vanderbilt, and Oklahoma will be coming to Columbia. Who will they travel to face, Doug?
Kentucky.
No. Kentucky not on the schedule in 2024.
LSU.
No, sir.
Texas. Georgia.
Texas not. You wouldn't play both Oklahoma and Texas.
I'm going to say somebody from the SEC.
Florida.
Mississippi State.
Someone from the SEC.
We're talking about
the SEC. We're talking about their league schedule.
I know. I'm just saying somebody from the SEC. I mean, we're sitting here naming names. Who knows? We're just
Ole Miss
guessing.
has got to be, right?
No, sir.
Can we have an initial, please?
A.
Alabama.
Alaska.
Alabama.
Oh.
They got to go down to Roll Tide to take us. So you're playing Oklahoma at home on top of also playing Auburn at home, and then you got to go travel to Alabama. And when it rains, it pours because they'll be playing against the 12th man at Texas A&M in 2024. South Carolina was already guessed. They go to Columbia East to take on South Carolina in 2024. And rounding it out is the Cowbells of Mississippi State, Hale State down there in Starkville, Mississippi. Those are the 8 conference games for Missouri in 2024. Like I said, playing Auburn at home, Oklahoma at home, and then traveling to Alabama.
What are their non-conference games?
You want those non-conference games, Iggs?
Can we have initials,
Yeah, because
please?
those are the ones that we know they can probably win.
MS, a former number 2 overall pick in the NBA draft, went to this school. MS. It's in the Midwest. Or South, depending on how you
Memphis
do it.
State.
No, Memphis State is just now Memphis.
I know, but that's what my
KG
guess.
nailed it. Murray State. Murray State.
Oh, the Racers?
They're taking on the Racers. They have 4 non-conference games. The next one, Doug, is Buffalo.
Oh,
They'll
for
go
crying
take
out
on
loud.
Buffalo.
Buffalo's pretty good. Buffalo's pretty good in their division. They can score some points.
They were.
Yeah, they still are. And then you know that when you think of Missouri football, you think of Massachusetts, right?
I do. Yeah, UMass.
Well, they'll be taking two trips, or maybe Boston College or UMass will be coming here. No, Boston College will be in Columbia, and then they'll travel to take on the Minutemen of UMass.
Oh, who makes these schedules?
Like, that couldn't be more boring.
Why don't you play Illinois or Iowa or heaven forbid Kansas? Why don't you play a non-conference game that have some meaning to people?
You don't think the Minutemen of UMass have a lot of meaning?
No, zero.
Why do you hate Marcus Camby?
Great call there, KG.
Well, because he doesn't put fans in the stadium.
He could get a bucket though. So they'll be taking on Murray State, Buffalo, Boston College, and UMass.
Every season should start with a game against Kansas. Every year.
You think?
Whether it's at Arrowhead or a swap back and forth between Lawrence and Columbia, that's how every season should begin, in my opinion.
Yeah, that was a rivalry.
Yep. Or even the Illinois game was good. I guess Illinois got tired of losing every year.
Probably so.
I loved Missouri-Illinois football games because obviously bragging rights game is like my ultimate. That's like my favorite day of the year.
Yeah.
And so
Illinois football was, Jesus. I kind of hung on there in the Zook era. After that, holy moly.
Gave Michigan a run for their money this year at the Big House.
No, they had look at the draft class that they had, though, too. They had a fantastic defense. So,
but at least the game had some meaning.
No, I get it. UMass, those ones in Buffalo were kind of a joke. And if not against Missouri, Illinois, and all these schools do the same exact thing.
I don't like it.
Those are free wins if I've ever seen it, Buffalo and UMass.
Now, Doug, do you like Missouri taking on the aforementioned Memphis State, now just Memphis, in St. Louis this in 2023?
Does nothing for me.
Really?
Does nothing. Oh, in St. Louis?
Yeah, they're playing at the Dome. Great atmosphere.
Yeah.
I'd rather see it in Columbia, really.
Yeah,
I'd rather see it anywhere but the Dome.
Yeah, I'll go to the game because it's in St. Louis.
Part of the fun of going to the game is seeing that college atmosphere.
I tend to
at the school
agree.
and seeing all the kids in the. I don't need to go to the Dome. I appreciate they're trying to lure the St. Louis fan base in, but I just assume go to Columbia, I guess.
I would like Missouri basketball to play every game in St. Louis, so I can go to every game.
Every game.
Pretty please.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to travel for the games. I want them in my backyard, personally. But
maybe you could move to Columbia or halfway.
No.
Move to Wentzville so it's only like an hour and 15-minute drive.
Yeah. I've made that drive to Columbia in an hour and 21 minutes.
How fast were you going?
75?
No, you weren't.
Yes.
You weren't.
Yeah, there was no traffic.
Well, where did you start from?
Brentwood.
You cannot do it in an hour and 20 minutes.
I got there an hour and 21 minutes. I got to Columbia in an hour and 20
Going
minutes.
75 miles an hour.
Maybe close to touching 80.
Yeah, 80 at least.
I was
at least 80.
But there was no traffic. Like, it was just pure, it was straight. Hour and 21 minutes. You want to race? If we cover at Alabama, Drink will be smoking a cigar at midfield. That's from Steve in Wildwood. Plowboy, would you like?
Be a 34. I don't know how good. Alabama's always good.
Yeah,
it's just,
you can
know.
lock them in. I don't know anybody who's going to be playing for them in 2024, but you can lock them in as being a good team.
They lost their quarterback, running. They always lose their basically their core 4 or 5.
They lose defense. Is the biggest thing that like Georgia and Alabama, those
I
teams
think
like
Georgia's
that.
right there with them now.
Oh yeah.
Oh well, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I'm talking about
We've even
that
surpassed them
prolonged
the last 2 years.
The dynasty though is still. It's still going on.
Robust.
I wouldn't say. Georgia, another title or two, but Alabama's doing this thing for 15 years. It seems like. I know they've had a couple of down years in between.
Well, at some point, Nick Saban will retire.
Oh, I disagree, man.
You don't think he'll ever retire?
It's like a Supreme Court justice. He's on the bench.
Well, you made the most obvious at some point. Well, yes, some point he's going to retire.
Well,
I wouldn't say
that
within the
changes
next
everything
5
in college
years.
sports. You lose your coach.
If you want to look down 15, 20 years from now, yeah.
And you think he's got another 20 years in him?
He's healthy as hell.
But he's what? He's close to 70 now, isn't he?
Ooh, that's a good question. I bet he is.
Oh yeah, but he's like
62 actually. That's all.
Is that all he is?
I bet he's 62.
He's older now.
71.
Wow.
71.
71. He looks great for 71.
Snyder came out of the woodwork and he was like 90 and coached Kansas State, and he looked 100.
Bill
If you're
Snyder.
71, you'd be lucky to get another 5 years.
Yeah.
I disagree with that.
Didn't he signed a big extent, like an 8 or 9 year extension? Obviously, just because you sign an extension doesn't mean you're going to be there the entire
What's
time.
he doing? Like, I know he takes it intently, but at this point, I wouldn't say he's coasting, but you have yourself a pig pen full of athletes, 5 stars. You got people recruiting them for you. All you got to do is kind of sit your 8 championship ring down in your office and talk to them for an hour, and it's done.
Well, he's definitely
not saying he doesn't do
definitely
anything,
got it
but
going.
like,
No doubt about that.
it's unreal.
There's a lot of people, once you get into your 70s or something, you're feeling great one day, and the next day, I don't think I can do this anymore.
2 things, Doug. He starts every morning with 2 oatmeal cream pies, much like our friend the Plowhawk over here. Starts every day off with 2 oatmeal cream pies. And he's kind of doing like my thing with being an altruistic bull. He's doing it basically for free because he only makes $11.7 million a year coaching Alabama.
Says here he weighs 115 pounds, just like Plow.
He does not.
Yeah.
No way he weighs a buck.
No,
15.
he's kidding.
I mean, he's 5'6", so I guess that
Is that all he is? And he played college football himself.
I think Kent State.
He was a safety, I think.
Was he?
If at 5'6", he's not 5'6".
That's what it's listed. He's listed at 5'6".
He's got to be taller than that.
This is what I see.
Don't height shame, Doug.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't think that someone who played college football, even if it was 50 years ago, was 5'6". I didn't see many 5'6" guys playing when I was there.
You want to know his record at the University of Alabama for head coach?
Yeah.
He's 189-27.
Oh, Lord.
Drink's pretty close to that.
He will be.
Well, I think Drink will probably have to win 160
You'd have to just
in
go
a row.
undefeated. Yeah, he would have to go on the greatest run in sports history.
That'd be amazing.
But you're excited for Drink, Plowhawk. You think the Tigers are going to win the SEC East, I should say.
I don't think so. I think Tennessee's going to win the entire SEC. Missouri, what do you got? That 6-game plateau probably is the over-under 6.5, 5.5. Typically, that's always every year.
That's about right.
It really depends on who they choose as their starting quarterback, and kind of what offensive scheme they go with. I think you have to change it up from. I think they have great running backs that you can easily, run more than you would consider. But Brady Cook should start, and Brady Cook should run the ball a lot more.
If Drink's not calling the plays, I'm bullish.
100%.
If he is calling the plays, then
6 wins.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I'll give him 6 wins, and I think that's fair. It's a pretty tough schedule, though.
Well, they'll kick it off August 31st with South Dakota State, Doug.
Boy, that's an exciting match.
Faroe Field on a Thursday night.
When you win those games, it doesn't even feel like it should count as a full win, does it?
I'm with you. It sucks. Fans it's going to be a tiger stripe at Faroe, so part of the stadium will be black and the other part will be gold.
I like that. They should do that almost every game.
Well, don't worry, because against Middle Tennessee on
Middle
September,
Tennessee.
Middle Tennessee.
Of all the Tennessee schools, we're playing the one right in the middle.
Dead center, baby. It's family weekend. It's Missouri Hall of Fame weekend. The fans wear white to that game. 6 p.m. kickoff, by the way, which is actually kind of nice for Middle Tennessee. Then they take on Kansas State at
That's
Faroe
legit.
Field.
That's certainly legit.
11 a.m. kickoff, Doug. Fans wear gold.
Okay.
And then, of course, the 23rd is the game against Memphis at the Dome. No kickoff date. But they're traveling to Vandy. Should we all go to Nashville and
It'd be fun.
bachelorette party?
Yeah.
That'd be a barn burner of a game.
It would be fun.
You think
do
they
the
could
show there
sneak out?
from Friday? Do the show there or something?
That would actually be really, really fun.
Yeah.
Last time Mizzou played Vandy in Nashville, me and all my buddies went, and it was really, really fun.
Although there's not much of an atmosphere at Vandy. They could care less about Vanderbilt football in Nashville.
We didn't go to the game. We just hung out on Broadway the entire time.
We should go to Ole Miss and do a show from the Grove.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Do they play there? They don't play there.
Not until probably 2025.
Oh, I'll be dead by then.
No, we'll all be there, and it'll be great, and then we'll score. The Middle Tennessee State Blue Raiders, that's from the 3 and 4. They play South Dakota, not South Dakota State. State is the defending FCS national champion. South Dakota is extremely mediocre, also ran the Missouri Valley Football Conference. It's from show ombudsman Brian Henshin.
It'd be a fun city to go to, just to, I've been there before, but.
What city?
You see Mount Rushmore, you see Deadwood.
What city? But
South Dakota.
That's a state.
You don't know that.
I'm saying I'd like to go to South Dakota.
I'm sure of it.
I'm saying I'd like to go to South Dakota again.
You've been before?
Yeah. It was fun seeing, the old Deadwood, the graves are still there. The old Gem Saloon.
It kind of sounds like a place where I would get really bored really fast.
Yeah, I know. You'd look at it, and about 5 minutes later, you go, what else? What else you got?
Jackson, have you seen the pictures Mizzou football's posted lately of some of the workouts?
Is this on Twitter?
Twitter, Instagram. The guys seem like they're wearing sports bras. Do you understand that?
Oh.
Heart rate monitors.
They look big for that.
We got guys that have man boobs.
Not really. I'm looking right now. A lot of those, it's like it tracks your speed too, and like, so I know what you're talking about there, KG. I see it right now, but yeah, that's like a heart rate monitor, and also like measures how fast you're flying around the field and all that stuff. Super analytical, data-driven stuff.
Gotcha.
But yes, they do in fact look like sports bras. They've been wearing them in European soccer forever.
Oh Lord.
Iggy, you looked despondent there for a second. All
What's
good?
going on?
Pardon me? You put your head down. I was making sure you're all good.
No, I had nothing to add to what Missouri's wore during their workouts, so I just kind of
you didn't like the topic.
Took the segment off.
You didn't like the
Drop your head and totally
You seemed
crestfallen posture.
Took this segment off.
You seemed a little
I had
crestfallen.
nothing to add there.
That's fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair
I'm upset Hank Lebiota's 2 over.
That's got you pissed off. Do you have him in your rosters
No,
or anything?
I never have him on my roster.
Iggy
all the guys you threw out, Doug's guys, Summer Hayes is 2 over.
Yeah, well, good.
All those
good
guys
move,
you
Doug.
threw out of there, Henson's and now over par.
Iggy drove through South Dakota on his way to the United Center to see the Curates and the birthday hawk.
I'd be a little out of the way, but
says 117 miles from Brentwood to Columbia. To get there in 81 minutes, you have to average 86.6 miles per hour.
Yeah, I believe that. You'd have to fly to get there.
I felt like I wasn't going that fast. I'm not a speedster, Doug. I like to drive about 5-10 miles over the speed limit on the highway.
Well, you can get going fast
Yeah.
on I-70 if you don't watch it.
Once you get past about Warrenton, it's kind of because there's some twists and turns up 70 or 64 at least before you get there. But once you get towards the middle of it, Bachelor, Callaway County, you can really start to goose it a little.
I remember in college at the fraternity house, we had a party going, and somebody called a guy who had graduated the year before and said, "Hey, we got a big party. Why don't you come down tonight?" And he was in St. Louis. He said, "Okay, I'll be there as fast as I can." And he was there like an hour late. I thought he must have driven 100 miles an hour to get there.
100%. Yeah, you have to be really cooking at that
Yep.
point. Nope, can't read that one. I drive Tacoma all the time for business. I stand with Casper on the commute time. It can be done very easily. Doug, you're a horse's ass for questioning Rick. That's from Mr.
Well, some of it depends on where. If you're coming from Chesterfield as opposed
way
to
faster.
Kirkwood, you've knocked 20 minutes off the trip.
For sure. Brentwood kind of is like dead center of. That's kind of in the center of it all. Because that's why you were kind of patrolling the entire county area when you were living in Brentwood.
oh yeah, you can get anywhere. Go to the Central West End, yeah, be there in 10 minutes. Go to North County, be there in 10 minutes.
No, North County, it's hard to get there.
170 kind of makes it easier.
But you don't get very far deep into
No.
North County.
But I
You
can get to North
70.
County.
Yeah.
Downtown yesterday took me like 20 minutes to get downtown. Now I'm in Maryland Heights, but still not far. I mean, when you live in those areas where you're right by 270, 40, 364, not far from 170, Highway 70. I mean, you're right there by everything.
That's one thing good about St. Louis.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to get around.
That's what I was talking when I played with this British guy 2 weeks ago. He was like, "I love St. Louis because it doesn't matter where like someone says like let's go to this place. You're 20, 25 minutes at most
And if
away
it's
from
farther
it."
than that, we're not going.
Absolutely, yeah. Whereas like if you were like living in LA, like where the U.S. Open is this week, like it's an hour and a half away. Sure, we'll be
Okay,
there.
yeah.
That's not too bad. Like with plus traffic, it's brutal.
Let me ask you guys something about
Please.
yesterday real quick, because I'm just curious. When I was leaving, and you know that we got there early, so there's nobody in that parking lot. You pull a ticket, and Tom Schmidt was kind enough to give us a validation sticker to put on our ticket. So when we left, when you get there, there's nobody there.
No.
And all I did was I pushed the button. He goes, such and such parking. I said, yeah, I got a validation from Salt and Smoke. How do I get out of here? He just opened the gate.
Oh, I put my ticket into the little box.
I did too.
And then it opened the gate
And
door
it read
for me.
read the barcode.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
a barcode
I was
sticker.
trying to push it.
No, you got to put the ticket in.
There's
Well, I
like
didn't
an
know
insert
that.
ticket here thing.
Well, I didn't know that.
Right where it says insert ticket here. That's where you would have inserted the ticket.
I thought it was if you're going to pay with a credit card, you insert your credit card there. I didn't see insert ticket here, so I just pushed the button. I said, mine's validated from Salt and Smoke. He said, go ahead. Just open the gate.
Yeah, I guess
so
that
I guess
works,
that's
too.
something you use all the time now. You just
Oh, I
park
don't
in there.
know.
and-
Don't take advantage of that.
Well, I like to.
How often are you going down?
Save yourself, not often. but if I
Tom
do
might
it,
have to pay every time you do that.
No,
The
because
guy might write it down. Salt and Smoke. They owe us $30.
no, he's already got the sticker. I'm sure he already paid for it.
I know, but if you're going to do this again when you don't have a sticker, he might have to pay for it.
Well, I still have a sticker on this one. I didn't take it.
That sticker, I'm sure, was for yesterday's date.
I'm just curious if anybody else did that.
No, I inserted my ticket where it instructed me.
Obviously, the guy didn't see the ticket. He's not up in the air somewhere looking at the ticket.
Another mention of Up in the Air. Really, just a fantastic film. St. Louis Hair Restoration is awesome. Doug, we're going to be looking.
They sure are.
Like some sharp gentlemen here coming
Less than
up
2
soon.
weeks away for me.
Ooh, you're getting excited.
Yeah, I'm ready to do it.
Absolutely. Both Dr. Palinga and founder Greg are patients of their own product. I think that's what's so important. When we're talking with people who have been in your exact situations, people who have lost their hair or been kind of lost when it comes to this, you go talk to them for a consultation. Exactly what me and Doug did. For me, they talked to me about using finasteride, which helps kind of curb the hair loss process, kind of slows it down as
Say
best
what
it
you
can.
got. That's the first step.
Saving what you got. And then they also gave me this laser cap that I wear for about 6 minutes a night.
How's that working out?
Good. It's really easy. And I sit there, watch TV for an hour, and then 6 minutes of that I have this laser cap in my head. Beeps, take it off.
And you probably got the urge to wear it for 6 hours, thinking it'll really do good now. But
Right.
That wouldn't work.
No,
You got to follow the direction.
Absolutely. And they provide all the information you could possibly need over at St. Louis Hair Restoration. For you, Doug, they got the FUE procedure coming up in, like you said, just less than 2 weeks.
Yeah. This is where they take out hair by hair up the side or the back of your hair where it's not genetically predisposed to male pattern baldness, and then they move it where you're thin. And it's something they do every day. Dr. Palinga, considered one of the best in the country at this. The before and after pictures at stlouishairrestoration.com are just remarkable. If you think they can't help you, look at some of those pictures and see what they've done for their patient. It is really, really remarkable. First, you go in for a consultation with you, and they they talk to you about all the different procedures you could possibly have. There's several different ways you can approach it. I'm going to go with the FUE procedure, which is the most popular, and it's extremely effective. They want to make sure that you understand exactly how it works, and boy, does it work. Again, look at the before and after pictures at stlouishairrestoration.com. Really remarkable, some of the work they're doing. If you're struggling with hair loss, if you don't like it, if you feel like it's holding you back socially, don't wait. Pull the trigger and make a real difference in your life.
Absolutely. And you can find them right now at stlouishairrestoration.com or call them at 314-384-2474. That's St. Louis Hair Restoration. Doug, you want hair, but life's not fair. Send your head on vacation and choose St. Louis Hair.
Gosh, that is so good.
Restoration.
They're not going to have... They're going to be just overwhelmed with clients if you keep saying that.
Absolutely. And our next time we have TMA Day at the ballpark, people will be walking around like Fabio, like George Clooney walking around. We'll just have,
they won't recognize us.
We will no longer be follically challenged. All right. It is 9:48 in St. Louis. It is time for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. Buck Swope, of course, in the lead with 4 wins. Blueberry Pop Pop, Brian Henson, Kevin Miller, Doty's Golf Move, Whittle Beans, Kirkwood, and Jimmy Strongwoods each have a win apiece. Let's get into it. The first guy to ever spike a football in an NFL game, Homer Jones, and he died today.
Oh,
but did you guys talk about it? Don't know, because I refuse to listen when Tim isn't on.
Oh, Giants wide receiver. It's very good. Fran Tarkenton used to hit him all the time.
Was Fran Tarkenton the big scrambling? Was he like the first scrambling quarterback?
Yeah. Look at some of the old videos of him on YouTube. You've never seen anything like it.
He would just move.
He'd scramble sometimes 20, 25 yards backwards.
I'll have to watch
But
that.
he was so fast, they couldn't catch him. And when he retired, he held the NFL record for passing yardage.
Wow.
He was a superstar.
Oh, I'll have to watch that later today. Let me take a wild guess. Riveting stale bread talk. A fake dream with learn in it. But I'm not blaming Iggy. Somebody had to pick up the slack. Doug was darn tired this morning, and I'm partially responsible. I, too, left after the 5th inning. Whilst driving down Highway 44, I was following a LeBaron convertible with a topless driver. He was sweating profusely, so much to the point that when I had to turn on my wipers. As fate would have it, we both got off at the same Lindbergh exit. When he turned into Phillips 66, I knew what he was up to. He was returning to the scene of the crime, a.k.a. the first place we had sex. Before the insurance scam burned down, it was Bob Evans. And in 1993, we rocked that parking lot. It was our first date, and I was pretty nervous. Then he parked in the spot that said, "No parking in the rear." He looked into my eyes and said, "I'm a rule breaker."
Oh!
And just pulled out his job. Oh, nope.
No.
And went to town on my backside.
Oh, come on.
Holding this cock? That's from Amateur Handyman.
Amateur Handyman. He's new.
Says I wants you, says I needs you. It's real talking when you make me wait for you. If I really wants you, if I really needs you, if I really got to have you, take your time and feel me out. When it's a good boy, I mean it's a really, really good boy, why not let me lay with you? That's what I give
That's when I give it to Dougie Good. That's from Think About This.
What kind of email was that?
8:30 Recreator.
We didn't talk about anything like that today. 8:30 Recreator. What kind of email was that?
Morn. Just want to give Jackson props for being a show historian. He has some great callbacks in the show that make me chuckle. Now to the meat. Can we address all that throat clearing into the mic? If you want to play a game, insert a digit each time a nicotine-induced phlegm hack is blasted across HD2 airwaves. You'll be wrist deep by 7:30.
Oh.
Finally, does it seem like Boots is preparing for the return of To Catch a Predator when he routinely says, I don't know where this came from, it just popped up on my cell phone. Who are you? I am. That's from the Key West Butt Tickler.
Oh. Key West Heiny Tickler.
I hate to interrupt your riveting discussion about your favorite cased meats, but I'd like to issue a statement. Iggy, it's me, Jen Williams. I'd like to apologize. You thought I was rude and disrespectful to you in your dream. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry you don't understand that dreams aren't real. I'm so sorry that you think about me and learn when you're sleeping, and that actions somehow translate to the real world.
Huh.
We are not friends. Do not mention my name on your stupid little show ever again. Mostly I'm sorry for the fact that you can't find a fresh loaf of bread like a normal person. I've literally never struggled to find fresh bread one single time in my entire life. There's a neat little feature called an expiration date that is printed directly on the packaging of almost every food in America. Try to consume the product before that date has passed on the calendar and you should be good to go. Now keep my name out your damn mouth.
Oh.
From Jen Williams.
Jen Williams.
Me and Plowsy not long ago were coming out the door, and Lauren was walking by. And she goes, "Oh, I had a dream about you and Plowsy last night."
Oh, think about that.
Second
So
Lauren
when people have dreams, they
9:52.
mention it to each other. They had a dream about somebody. So
Well, did you ask more questions about it?
no, we just kind of walked away. I didn't ask.
You weren't curious at all about how you appeared in her dream and what happened?
No, I was busy. I was going somewhere. I forgot.
Yeah.
The Douglas in here is fly, and there's one who's caught my eye. I want to pull him slow to me and whisper sweet things in his ear, oh yeah, because tonight I'm full of fire, oh yeah. And you're the only one my heart desires, Douglas. You're the only one I want to slow dance with, baby. You're the only one. Hey, Mr. DJ, why don't you slow this party down? You're the only one I want to slow dance, baby. Oh, what the record
Leggy
spin.
Blonde again?
Now, Douglas Elvin Vaughn, take my hand. I'm diamond hard. That's from the 8:30 Recreator.
Gosh, a little out of control today. 8:30 Recreate. We didn't talk about any of that on the show.
Good morning. It's hard to focus in my cubicle when Doug's voice all but forces me to pleasure myself.
Sakes.
My coworkers understand. They think it's hot. They think Doug is hot. Grab me by my white sides and give me the good what for, you KMOV queen.
By my white sides?
That's from
What is that?
All the Best, Danny Tanner.
I don't understand that. Danny Tanner.
That's what we got for the design there. Heating and
That's
cooling.
it? Those are the emails. Those emails could have come in 5 years ago. Not one of them referenced anything that we talked about today, did they?
I think today we put our foot down and said we're not voting for anybody. There's
No,
no
we got
email today. It's just awful.
No, well, let me read this.
I'm not voting, so.
Grab me by my white sides and
What is
give me the
that?
good what for, you KMOV queen.
What is the white side?
I don't know. But grab him by it.
I'm not going to grab him anywhere.
Doug, who you got?
I guess I'll go for as hard as it is for me to vote, I'm going to go for the amateur handyman. At least he had some funny lines.
Amateur handyman. So, Iggy, you're abstaining?
I'm going to turn it to Plowsy because I'm putting my foot down from now on. I'm not just going to vote just because we have to. If there's some good ones in there, I'll vote. If they all suck like this, I'm not going to, I got to pick somebody. I'll pick Danny Tanner. No, I'm not going to vote.
You're not voting.
See, me and Doug are kind of on the same page. I thought it was overall awful, all of them. But there was a couple funny lines with the handyman, so I got to hand it to him. I think he had
Amateur
the best
handyman.
Okay.
Kevin Miller with a win.
masturbated at work for Doug?
Yeah, the white.
No, I don't think so.
He wanted you to grab him by his white sides.
That was the guy at the end. Right?
Yeah, Danny Tanner. But amateur handyman wins. That's 2 wins
Doug
on the
Miller.
month for Kevin Miller in the month of June. And so he has won, even though Iggy did not vote. Iggy did not feel that the emails were up to snuff. So ratchet up your game tomorrow because it'll be the core 4 again tomorrow as Tim will be out tomorrow. KG in O-Town. What?
God, I thought today was Friday.
Today is Thursday.
Oh, man.
You're just now learning this?
I don't know why I feel. I guess because I went to the baseball game yesterday, and usually when we do TMA outings, it's on a Thursday. So
That's fair.
I'm kind of thinking today was Friday.
Although the TMA Lives before the Dodoms are always on Wednesdays. But then the Dodo kind of changes things up. So
I'll be here tomorrow then, I guess.
Absolutely.
Well, we hate to inconvenience you in any way.
I thought it was Friday. I was excited over the weekend.
No, sir. Today is Thursday. We'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow, of course, is Friday with the Core 4. KG No Town, we hope you can come in tomorrow. If you can't, all good, baby. We'll be good. But we'll be bringing it again tomorrow. We'll be full strength on Monday. For Douglas Owen Vaughn, for Darren the Plowhawk Atkins, for Ken Iggy Strode, for KG No Town in the Seckman Studios today, and for Tim McKernan, who was on for the first half of the show, out for the second half. I'm Action Jackson. This has been the Ryan Kelly Morning After live from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
When we think of a real estate agent, we think of somebody simply